right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin and the crypto markets. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for joining here on a Friday. We are seeing a bit of a correction on Bitcoin and altcoins. First off, let me know, can you guys hear the mic okay? I have adjusted some things on my microphone and kind of going with a new setup here. So let me know how the sound is. Is it crisper than my previous setup? Is it sound clear and good? Volume okay? And then we will get started here. Welcome in, everybody. Okay, guys. Awesome. Thank you, Nonsense. Thank you, Matrix Mike. I appreciate it. So, guys, Bitcoin is starting to lose our range support levels. You can see this volume profile that we've had pulled. This range is going about on a month now. And for the past month, we've been hitting, first of all, I'm going to go ahead and hide some of the stuff on this chart, but I want to talk about this Pitchfork because this Pitchfork is a Pitchfork we've been following for months now, actually for almost a year. And that's our smaller Pitchfork pulled from the start of our weekly wave 4 impulse to the upside, from our 49K lows, really. And we have been looking at an impulse. Yes, we will do tail for sure, and Ave, and thank you so much for that super chat. I really do appreciate that. So we have been watching Bitcoin, the impulse from 98.2K. And this is important because this impulse here is about to invalidate. If we hit this golden pocket coming up at 113,366 on Coinbase, it will invalidate this impulse to the upside. And we will have to rethink our strategy on some of, not only Bitcoin, but on some of the altcoins, which have already invalidated their 112 impulses to the upside. So, we did know that we were hitting into some key resistances. You know, if we go on to our bigger wave 3 Pitchfork pulled from this bull cycle, we were finding a range at the upper band. And let me zoom out onto the daily chart here. And we will take, guys, today we will take some time to go through some of the altcoins and really try to find those potential swing long entries if we are going to get one last push up in the bull market. But first, I need to cover Bitcoin because we do know that Bitcoin, and we're also going to cover the total market cap next because Bitcoin and the total market cap are seeing the correction that we were expecting, actually. But we are starting to dump and lose our range support, which is a bad sign. And I did see a comment. Let me scroll back up here. JDR81. Yeah, I understand the titles are Doom titles and stuff like that, but it's not really a Doom title. What it is we are losing key support, and that should give you your attention should be on that. So it's not necessarily Doom titles. It's, first of all, it's referenced in a question mark. You know, are we about to see the big crash? Because now it is far more likely of a possibility that we can see it because we are breaking some key levels of support. And also, you know, the YouTube game is about grabbing attention with titles, getting people to click on the video. So I'm sorry if that is not for you. You know, I wish you all the best. There is plenty of other YouTubers, and a lot of them do kind of have the same kind of Doom titles or attention-catching titles. But I understand, man, and if you need to leave, that's fine too. Just thank you for being here while you were here, and we'll go on here, you know? So Bitcoin, you guys can see, this is our Wave 3 Pitchfork. Now, this was pulled from the lows of our Wave 3 weekly impulse to our original 74K highs, our 2024 all-time high, and then down to our 2024 lows at 49K. And you can see, since we've been in this Pitchfork, it has been highly, highly respected on swing positions, on higher time frame swing positions. When we came to the top of the Pitchfork, we 3 times tried to break out of it or found resistance at the top. And then we chopped around in this upper range, holding the lower band, the lower part of the upper band as support for months until we finally lost it, back tested it, and then we saw the big drop. We dropped through our midline, back tested our midline a few times here, and once we confirmed rejection, we dropped to the lower band. Now, we did find support at the lower band, but when we found support here around 74K, we had front run a very, very key golden pocket that was at 72K to 70K, which was also the value area high of our 2024 range. And to me, that was a little bit bearish because we would have rather seen it drop a little bit more to actually hit support. But the market is here to surprise us, and the market started impulsing 50% higher from that area, from 74K all the way up to like 111K here. And we made new all-time highs. And so Bitcoin, we are coming up we flipped that midline to support. You can see the perfect touch to support of the midline at 98.2K. And once we actually hit that midline, because in the past, since flipping it, we hadn't back tested it as support. In a healthy market, you will often back test major key levels as support before continuing higher. So we finally back tested it, flipped it to support, and then we pumped up to the upper band. And you can see this upper band is where we are at now. And we've been chopping around for about a month in this upper band, which I often say this on the channel. We do form ranges in these band areas. But if we zoom now in on the charts, I talked about this earlier this week. We had lost the band. We're in this descending channel, which is corrective, and it does still potentially look corrective. We could still potentially push up to make new all-time highs from here. But you can see here over last weekend, we lost the band during last week, last Thursday, Friday. We came up over the weekend and tried to backtest the band to get back inside of the band, and we rejected. And then on a weekday when markets were open on Monday, we came up again, made another lower high, perfectly rejecting from the backtest, the bearish backtest of the band. And now we are starting to break the range to the downside. So these are all bearish signs, to be honest with you guys. And we are seeing no confirmations on our money flow is leaving the asset. It's been draining out of the asset ever since really our prior all-time highs on the daily time frame. And it's just not looking good here, guys. I wish I could be bullish, but if we are being objective technical analysts, then we have to pay attention to what the charts are showing us. And losing our range support, the value area low of our range, and not seeing an SFP of the range lows, which we tried to attempt yesterday. Let me go back to the Coinbase chart here. You can see our previous lows here. We got a SFP yesterday afternoon, and then we couldn't even make it back up to backtest that value area low. We backtested the channel midline, and now we're dumping. But we are coming up to some local support. The thing is, if we hit this local support, it's going to invalidate the impulse. But I do still think we can see a bounce from this support between 113,366 and 112,855. And this is where our next pitchfork comes into play. So let me go ahead and come in on the charts, and we'll turn that pitchfork on. That pitchfork is going to be pulled from our wave 4 lows. Let me zoom out here real quick and show you guys that. So here we go. And guys, I injured my wrist yesterday, so I am a bit messed up on my mouse clicking today. So I apologize if it's, not super precise there, but we'll do the best we can here. So you can see from our 49K lows up to our 111K highs, down to our corrective lows at 98.2, we have pulled this pitchfork. I'm sorry, this is not our wave 4 pitchfork. This is our current pitchfork of this impulse. And you can see we hit up into that upper band, and we wicked a little bit past it to hit the 1.618. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this 1.618 now. But overall, we closed below that band, and now we're losing the midline of that band. So if we zoom in here onto the 2-hour chart, and let's just look at this. So earlier this week, we came after losing the band. We backtested at 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a bunch of times in here, we could not get back above the midline. And we know if we cannot get, especially with pitchforks, if you cannot reclaim a major pitchfork level, generally you will see a drop to the next major pitchfork support level. And that is the lower band of the pitchfork. Now, we have our descending channel, which is our corrective price action for the past 3 weeks after making the all-time high and seeing our first drop. And we have the bottom of our descending channel here. We have our golden pocket here, and we have our pitchfork band of support coming in here. We should see at least some sort of reaction here from this level. And we also have the order block. You can see this 2-hour order block is in here, right in this area. So we have that 2-hour order block. We have a bunch of support confluences in this general area, expecting some sort of bounce from this area. But if we do see a bounce from this area, if we hit that golden pocket, it is going to invalidate our 112 impulse. And that doesn't mean that we can't make new upside. We can't come up to new all-time highs. But that impulse that we have been following is going to be put in the scrap bin, and we are going to actually be, it's going to be more probable that if we bounce from 113.3K, we make a lower high and continue to see a larger correction. Also, guys, I talked about this yesterday when we were coming down to the value area low in the golden pocket. We were just not seeing any confirmations to enter. Money flow looks very bearish on multiple time frames. It is still leaving aggressively on the asset here. And if we zoom out to the daily chart, And this is why my title is a little bit doomy, because we are seeing signs of a major correction possible. The money flow since our 111K highs, you can see money flow topped out there and has been consistently draining out of the asset ever since then. So yes, we did come up and make a new all-time high and spent a new range above our previous all-time highs. But if we start to lose this range, which is happening now, and if the weekly close closes below that 117K area, then we could see a drop back down to backtest our previous range of support. And so let me go ahead and come in on this chart. So you can see this is our previous range here. And this Pitchfork, by the way, is our most macro Pitchfork we have. So this is pulled based off of our prior cycle. And this was pulled from the COVID 2020 lows up to the 65K highs down to our bear market lows. And this Pitchfork has just been highly, highly respected over the entire bull market as well. And what we saw a couple weeks ago, or about a month ago, is we busted through that midline with a volume imbalance candle, a volume supported push to the upside. And that's exactly what you want to see. But then after breaking above that level, you want to really start to form a range up here and hold it as support before continuing higher, pushing up to new all-time highs. And that's why we were also in a double 1-2 impulse, and it was the highest probability we had flipped a major, major level of resistance potentially into support. But you can see here now on this 3-day candle, we are really losing that midline, not just, losing it with volume, looking very bearish, pretty much a bearish engulfing candle of the entire range. And if we close our weekly candle below this midline, which is coming in around 116.5, then we could see a much bigger correction. So this midline here is pretty important to close above, but let's go back to the Coinbase, the smaller Pitchfork. Let's zoom in here onto the 2-hour chart. And let's talk about, so we have our support level coming up, but if we do lose this golden pocket, we can expect to drop all the way down, I would say down to about 107.8K, the bottom of the Pitchfork, 107.8, 107.9, depending on time. And if we look at our bigger Pitchfork, or our wave 3 Pitchfork here, then really there's nothing, all the way down to we do have an anchored VWAP down at about 100 and let's just say 110K or 109.9 with some internal liquidity down there. But really, guys, if we start to lose this range, let me go back to this chart here. If we start to lose this upper range that we're in now and start to close, I would even say daily candles below this range, then we might see a move all the way back down to our previous range value area high, which is going to be coming in, guess what, right around that 107.8, 107.9, which is the bottom of our Pitchfork of this impulse. Also, if we take a Fibonacci and we go from the lows of the impulse here, oh my gosh, this is so hard. Can't even feel my wrist right now. All right, close enough. If we go from the lows of the impulse to the highs of the impulse, you can see that that golden pocket is coming in right at that previous range value area high. Also, if we zoom out here, and we look at, let's just go to the 8-hour time frame, you can see that this push up was a volume imbalance candle. So what we know about volume imbalance candles is, yes, they are very strong pushes to the upside, but there's no real support inside those candles. So if you start to break back inside that imbalance, you will fill it very, very quickly. So quick move up means quick move down. And if we start to fill this imbalance, we could literally just get sucked right down through this, straight to that golden pocket, hitting into the bottom of the Pitchfork of our Coinbase Pitchfork of this impulse, hitting into our more macro golden pocket from the lows of the impulse to the highs of the impulse. And then also it's our previous range test of support. So yeah, I mean, it's not looking good here for Bitcoin. Also, we talked about the total market cap. Now, a few days ago, I made a video about the total market cap. The thumbnail was about the total market cap, and we can expect to see Bitcoin and the total market cap to correct, all the altcoins, all the market cap to correct for the next few weeks, potentially down between our 0.382 and our 0.5 Fibonacci. And because this is our double 1-2 impulse of the total market cap. So on the total market cap, our double 1-2 impulse has not been fully invalidated yet. And actually, it's not a double 1-2 impulse. It's a regular impulse. 1, 2, your big 3, and then in a fourth wave, which is generally longer and stronger, longer and time than your wave 2, you generally retrace to the 382 to the 0.5. And you can see that 0.5 is kind of what we highlighted down there because we have some semi-equal dead cat lows, some liquidity down there to take. And so we were expecting a bit of a drop over the next few weeks to come down to test between the 0.382 and the 0.5 Fibonacci, seeing that bigger three-wave correction, seeing a bigger three-wave correction down to backtest that as support, and then to continue that last leg. Even in a bearish scenario, I talked about this, even in a bearish scenario, it is probable that we do make it up to our 1-to-1 Fibonacci target, which is at the top of our major Pitchfork band at about $4.15 trillion. So we are seeing exactly what we've kind of projected out over the past week. We were expecting many altcoins were at major resistance. XRP was at a major 1.618 resistance. Solana was at its major macro value area high, golden pocket resistance, log golden pocket resistance. We saw a SAY came up to its 38K log golden pocket Pitchfork band resistance. We're seeing a lot of coins at key macro resistances. And we were just expecting, you don't come into those macro resistances without seeing some sort of range form or some sort of rejection. And so far, I have to say, on the total market cap, yes, this is a pretty harsh rejection locally, but overall, our bullish market structure is still intact. And so our thesis for the market should be that we should still have a bullish bias on macro timeframes. But on intermediate to lower timeframes, I think this correction could continue a little bit longer. We could continue down to 3.57 trillion. And that means a lot of the altcoins will continue their bleed as well, down to some more big support levels below us. And Bitcoin could lose that range support and potentially drop all the way to about 107.9K, 107.8K. Now, we do have some support levels coming in before that we will pay attention to. But just letting you know, we are seeing the correction that we were expecting. We are hitting our macro 382. And if the market is going to be bullish, which we are not seeing very much bullish signs right now as far as our oscillators go and our money flow goes. But if we are going to bounce, this is the potential first target to bounce from, this 382. If we bounce from there and we start to break back into our range of our total market cap, then we could see, we really need to get back up inside of this range. And then we could see a move up, to a new all-time high for our total market cap. So that's kind of what we want to see happen very, very soon here. If we close this weekly candle below the value area low of this range, I do think we are going to continue to chop around and bleed, maybe all the way down to the 0.5. And that could happen through the weekend. We could see a slow bleed through the weekend. Also, we talked about this yesterday. Yes, we are technical analysis first and foremost, and we follow what the charts tell us. But we cannot be naive and understand that macroeconomics and what happens in the news cycle does play some sort of catalyst for what happens to the markets. And we do know that it's a new month. It's August 1st. We do have the tariffs now going back into effect. And a lot of the world sees these tariffs as a bearish market catalyst. And we could see these tariffs now that they're starting to take effect again, and a trade war could start again, a tariff war could start again. We could see that as a bearish sort of black swan event that gives us a big correction to the downside. It's something we need to pay attention to. Yes, charts first and foremost, technical analysis first and foremost, but we cannot be naive. We cannot be unrealistic here. And so we need to be aware of what's happening in the world. Okay, let me check the chat here, see what you guys are saying. Welcome in, everybody. It sounds way better. Thank you, AJ. You know what? I have a really, really good professional setup now. So I'm glad that it sounds better. And thank you for that. Yeah, please, Matrix Mike, thank you. You guys, if you get anything out of this video, any sort of insight on the markets at all, please hit the like button. Please help the channel grow here. I'm trying to expand, trying to get my content out there for as many people to see. So if you like the video in any way, please hit that like button. And thank you so much. And Archie TV, what's up, man? You know what? I agree with you. I don't think it's so much of a doom title either. It's just a realistic warning. Yes, it does sound a little bit doomy, but that's because we are seeing a little bit of fear happen right now, a little bit of uncertainty happen right now. And we do know that markets hate uncertainty. Uncertainty is the one thing that will cause the markets to kind of bleed. The titles are real that some people don't like. Yeah, thank you, Matrix Mike. And awesome, you guys. Thank you so much. And Matrix Mike, I appreciate that comment too. I'm glad you're here forever, man. Thank you. All right. So let's see. Same as always here lurking. Well, thank you, Cheeks, for lurking around, man. I appreciate you being in here. Jesus Says 77. Thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate you so much too, and you really are a nice guy as well. You're one of the biggest supporters, and I really do appreciate that. We will go through XRP. We will go through Say. We will go through a lot of the major altcoins today, guys. As you can tell, my wrist, I really messed it up yesterday. I play sports sometimes, and I was playing some stuff and really messed it up. So it is hard for me to use the mouse right now. I will do my absolute best to do it, but you can see how shaky I am right now and how it's just really hard. Let's just say that. It's hard to use, but I'm here and we'll do the best we can. We'll go through Sui. Sui, I have not taken along on yet. I did see that Sui came down to our 347 support level that we were looking at, that point of control of the range, and it is bouncing and it is reclaiming our previous lows. The only reason I didn't, well, first of all, I didn't take along because it happened while I was it was right first thing in the morning for me. But I think that Bitcoin is going to continue to bleed. And with Bitcoin continuing to bleed, now that we have broken above this previous high, I'm waiting for a little bit of a retrace. If we retrace to the local golden pocket and I see some local bull divs, I might look for a long on Sui. But once again, on Sui, if we close our weekly candle back below this channel, we could see a much bigger dump on Sui. So be aware of that, guys. If you are longing right now, play the longs, protect your position as soon as possible. And someone else, Harbin, Z Harbin, I think it was, mentioned we have been looking at some scalps in the Telegram group, and we have lost a few of those scalps recently because we are counter trend trading. The local trend has been a downtrend, and we are looking for scalp longs. So I understand that, Z Harbin, it does suck right now, and I'm my bias locally was bullish. So I was looking for scalp longs that could turn into swing longs or day trade position longs. And this is the risk of counter trend trading when the market is locally bearish. You are looking for big profit off of that, but you need to be aware, and that's why risk management is so important. Having an invalidation, if you get stopped out, lose the trade, be okay with losing the trade and move on to the next one. And also in a scalp long position, take your TP1 at your first scalp resistance, whether that's the VWAP, whether that's a local volume profile, like a high volume node, whatever it is, a local golden pocket, and then set your stop loss to break even. You know, a few of those trades that I posted in the Telegram group, overall, we might have been 2 and 7, but we at least got a TP1 on about 5 of those. So if you did that TP1 and you moved your stop loss to break even, really, you still are winning overall. And so that's why it's important to kind of protect position right away, especially in counter trend trading scenarios like we are doing right now. Okay. And yep. Sui, please. We'll go through Sui. We'll go through a lot of Circle is done. So I see that Circle's finally correcting pretty harshly here, and I had set a limit order on Circle quite a while ago, and I saw that it just got hit today. So I'm not sure what is going on with Circle, but it's finally getting hit here. Let's get rid of this. And we pulled this right when Circle first launched. Like, I think it was the first or second day of Circle launching, but yeah, Circle is also starting to lose its volume profile here. We're losing the value area low. You can see we lost it. We came up earlier today, back tested it, and we're dropping. So there is a potential Circle could drop a little bit more down to like that 150 area, 145, 150, or we could see even a much bigger drop on this as well. So be aware, you know, we are in a corrective mode now, and there's uncertainty in markets. And what does the market hate the most is uncertainty. Yeah, so I would say we could see a bit more downside on Circle. Let's do this. We could drop all the way to our 150 area. I would even say like that, you know, 145, 144, 145 area. Maybe down to 132 as well. That's going to be your 1.236, which would be your ABC target. Your most common corrective zone is between the 1-to-1 and the 1.236. And so, but I do think Circle overall is a pretty good stock to be holding, a pretty good company. And just like Coinbase, you know, we saw massive volatility, but I'm trying to get into this one a little bit more on my stock trading portfolio. Okay, BTC is on its way to 45K. Wow. Well, you know what? If the actual bull market is over and the bear market is going to really start to kick in here, I'm not going to 45K yet, but 45K is our big weekly change in market structure, actually breaking the 49K lows. Let's go to our higher time frame chart. And let's zoom out onto the weekly time frame. And you know what? That we are seeing, and I did mention this today in Jason Casper's stream, we are seeing those weekly triple drive of bear divs. And guys, this is what is really getting me concerning, because if you have been in the markets for a while, I've been trading 6 or 7 years now, and or at least paying attention to Bitcoin, not so much leverage trading or margin trading that long, but DeFi, crypto, all that. Higher highs in the price action, lower highs in the momentum waves, consistently on the weekly. But also look at your money flow. Money flow consistently draining out. Also a triple drive of bear div on money flow on the weekly time frame. So and then if we go back to our Fibonacci channel and we turn that on, let me go ahead and come in here. We'll turn off our big pitchfork here. And this Fibonacci channel has guided us the entire bull market. And what did I say? So you can see this Fibonacci channel. I've shown this many times on my channel. And if you look at the very, very first, I think it was the very first video I made back in November, late November, we were looking at this channel. This channel has guided us, just like that macro pitchfork that I just hit on the charts, has been guiding us through the entire bull market. This channel, this Fibonacci channel, has been guiding us on every major swing position throughout the entire bull market. And what happened, guys? We came up to the main channel. So the main channel is the pink lines here, the two pink lines, and then the white line is your midline. And once you break a channel, you can turn on the extinctions for that channel. That's why I knew to short 74K and bring it all the way back down to backtest that channel. That's how I knew towards this bottom here, we were looking and finding support, and we could have impulsed up. But you can see, once again, locally, not only did we reject it back in May, towards the end of May, we rejected the top of the channel, but today, this range, we are rejecting the top of this channel. And so let's go on to the 12-hour chart. You can see we tried to break out of the channel. Once again, this failed auction type price action. Tried to break out of the channel, couldn't, fell underneath it. 1, 2, 3 major tests of trying to get back above the channel, and now we're starting to break the range to the downside. And there is a potential, guys, that we could drop all the way to the midline again, which guess where that midline's coming in at? Our macro range POC. If we pull this macro range and we look at the POC of this macro range, the POC of this macro range is coming in right around that midline. And we could see a drop all the way back down to 97K if this is going to get really bearish. Now, I am not going there yet. We have major support levels before that. And like with any volume profile, we have broken out of the value area high of this volume profile, and we have sustained above the value area high of this volume profile. But one important thing that we did not do is we never came back to backtest this volume profile to flip it into support. And here's the thing, in a healthy market, anytime you break out of a major resistance, generally you will break out of that resistance, you start to form a range, and if that range doesn't continue the bullish momentum, you will drop back down to backtest that level as support before continuing higher. And so we have not done that. And with the start of the break of this range, that 109K area of support is going to be a major area. The 107.9K area is going to be an area of support. And I think that what we could see is a push down to 107.9 to hit that, but close our daily candle at or above 109K. And that, that would be our backtest of our major golden pocket and previous range here, support. And then it would also kind of allow us to backtest this macro value area high. But until we lose this macro value area high, I'm not concerned about 97K. And if we lose the macro value area high, yes, we could see it drop down to 97K. If we lose 97K, then we could look down to 88K. If we lose 88K, then yeah, guys, we're going to have to be really, really worried about coming down to retest our previous range and see if 2024's overvalued price action for Bitcoin will hold as support now. And then if we lose that, then we can look down to 45, 49K, and those areas. Actually, 51K is a really good, important weekly level we have down there that I do think could give us a big, big, big reaction. So all that to say that we do have some major levels ahead before 45K. But if it is the end of the bull market and we see those triple weekly bear divs really start to kick in, then yes, we could see much larger drops to the downside. And I am not trying to be doom and gloom. I am not trying to FUD you guys or anything like that. We just need to be realistic about the high time frame bearish signals that we are seeing. Okay, let me keep going on this chat. Okay, Quiles, thank you so much for the super chat, man. I really appreciate that. R Pink, welcome in, man. Thank you for coming in. What's up, False Prophet? Good to see you in here, dude. Yeah, and so Quiles, thank you for the super chat, man. I really do appreciate that. If you have a question, just let me know. You know, you want me to look at something, let me know. Does that mean we might not get an alt season? Yes, it does. There is a possibility that we don't get an alt season. Or, you know, I've been saying this the entire bull market. I do not think we are going to see an alt season like we saw in 2017 or 2021. I just don't think so. There is too many crap coins out there on the market now. Obviously, the institutions are highly, highly focused on Bitcoin. That's why Bitcoin is, you know, if we look at dominance, which actually we're going to go into dominance right now, Bitcoin has been the star of this cycle. And I do think that, yes, we did see some sort of already some sort of altcoin season with the altcoins that actually have value. Solana made new all-time highs. XRP made new all-time highs. Say made new all-time highs. We saw a lot of the good projects have their major pumps and make new all-time highs, but it's just a lot of the crap in the market didn't do what we were expecting it to do as well. And so, you know, yes, I do think that we're not going to see an alt season, but I still think the highest probability, even in a bearish case scenario, is that we do get one more leg up to push up into our, let me go to the total market cap, to push up into our ABC correction target, that 1-to-1 at 4.15 trillion. If we're looking at this even as a bearish flat scenario, A, B, C, your C wave generally makes it up to the 1-to-1 target. You see that ABC flat, and then you just drop here really hard. So I still expect higher on the total market cap. And really this back test right now that we're kind of going to go through in the next couple of weeks is really going to give us a clue on whether we are going to push up to that level. And I don't think the bull market's over yet, but it's getting close. Like I would say it's very much closer to being done than it is to being started. So yes, and we do see pullbacks in bull markets. We do see this FUD, and now a lot of people are in a lot of fear. And remember, this is the time where we really do want to start looking for potential swing long opportunities. I just am not seeing confirmations on the charts yet. So I am not going to just blindly long because I have the feeling a lot of people are in fear. I need to see my confirmations. Some people want to be told it's rocket. Yeah, some people do want to be told it's a rocket every day, especially people that are holding spot only. Why is the alt stopping following the BTC dump? Well, a lot of alts are at some local support levels. You know, Solana did invalidate that 112 impulse, but we are hitting into some really macro support here on Solana. I am potentially looking at taking a long from here. This is our golden pocket, our anchored VWAP, and pretty much close to the bottom of the channel. So, and you know, your 1-to-1 correction target. If we're looking at an ABC, A, B, C, and then rocket, you're looking at this general area of support. But money flow looks like garbage here. Yes, we are seeing bull divs, but money flow looks like garbage. And for me, I am not going to let even a double drive of bull div overpower this money flow for me. So I want to see more here. I want to see more. Okay, let's go back to Bitcoin dominance, because guys, Bitcoin dominance is doing what we said yesterday. We said if it does, and we're retesting those previous, let's go to the 8-hour chart. We're retesting those 62% lows that I talked about that are going to be really, really key to reclaim. You can see right now we're rejecting them, which is a good sign for the altcoins. And that's why we're going to see the altcoins might see a little bit of a bounce. But let's zoom out here onto the 2-day chart. I know I've gone through this a lot, so please forgive me if it's review for you, but we have been in this ascending channel since March of 2023. Bitcoin has dominated the attention and the money for this market cycle. That's why Bitcoin dominance has been rising the whole time. But we saw our first major break in market structure on the daily time frame, breaking below those 62% lows. And now we're at the bottom of our trend of the last pretty much 2.5, 3 years. If we break this trend to the downside, we will see a pretty big alt season come in. But if we hold the bottom of this channel as support, which it looks like it's trying to do so far, then, and we break above these 62% previous lows, then we could get a move all the way up to our channel midline, which is in confluence with our point of control at about 64.8%. And that means Bitcoin could rally against the altcoins and we could see altcoins bleed a little bit more. And it's starting to look like it's really trying to do that. If we zoom in here onto, like, let's go onto the 4-hour chart. Money flow is just crossing up into the green. We did see a hidden bull div yesterday on money flow, or on Wednesday on money flow. And it looks like, I mean, we still haven't reclaimed them. And we're rejecting again right now as we speak. But if we do reclaim those 62% lows, you know what? Bitcoin could pump and rally here. And then that means the altcoins will start to bleed against Bitcoin. What I would say is this does look like bearish consolidation at the bottom of a channel. Oftentimes at the bottom, I've been really using descending channels and ascending channels for years now, and I'm very aware of what happens at these channels. And a lot of times you will see this chop at the bottom of the channel. It will really try to hold as support, and you can even get one fake out to take up this liquidity and backtest this area, and then you drop and you lose it. So I'm going to be really watching. But if we start to close daily candles a third time underneath this channel bottom line, trend line, I will be, my bias will switch to really looking at some longs on altcoins. Okay. All right, let's get into some of the altcoins here, guys. So first, let's go to, I will cover them very, very quickly. I'll cover all the major altcoins very quickly, and then we'll go into what you guys were looking at. So Ethereum, guys, Ethereum, I've been talking about the long. I posted about it last week in my Telegram, but the long at the bottom of the Pitchfork here, the bottom of the Pitchfork band is really what I'm looking at. So we're breaking our band to the downside, the top part of the band. If we zoom back out onto the daily time frame, the last few times I've been streaming, I've been talking about how the macro value area high of our 4-year long range, this is our 4-year long range on the Ethereum price. We broke out of that value area high and we closed a weekly candle above it, a couple weekly candles above it, but we have not back tested it yet as support. And you can see the back test of that macro value area high as support is also in confluence with the bottom of our band, our upper band. And if we look at this Pitchfork, just the impulse from the lows, we chopped around in the lower part of the band for a couple weeks. We broke it to the upside. We chopped around above the midline for about a month and a half before losing it, back testing our more macro level of support, being the macro golden pocket from the previous range low to that current range low. Also, it's our anchored VWAP from the lows, which is maintaining bullish trend. And then we broke up above this Pitchfork and above the value area high of the range, but we have not backtested it yet. So it's highly probable that Ethereum now drops down to backtest this level about 34.45, 34, about, I would say 34.25 is like a level that I'm watching. And we also have our previous, if we zoom in here, we have our previous lows there, or our range lows, I guess you could say, range lows in that general area. So if we go ahead and throw those range lows on at 34.80, you can see that those range lows, we need that liquidity to be taken, and really about 34.20 is the bottom of the Pitchfork, and then the value area high. So for me, I highlighted this a couple weeks ago. What the heck? I highlighted this a couple weeks ago, but this is a major potential swing long opportunity to bring up to 45.34 if we're going to bounce. And this would not invalidate our impulse in any way, our 112 impulse on Ethereum. Ethereum is one of the strongest looking altcoins there is right now. And, you know, the third wave could be done with here. We could have seen our first 4 or 5, and now we're going to get one more drop, or this could be the start of your bigger first 4 or 5, and we still have that potential to push up to 45.34. So that is really what I'm looking for on Ethereum. I'm not looking for anything in between. I don't care about this internal low rate here. If we SFP that, great. I'm looking to SFP this range low into this support. Until then, I am not interested. You can see very, very locally yesterday, we had lost the Pitchfork upper part of the band, back tested it here, rejected, and now we're making new lows. So for me, that's it. That's all I'm interested in here on Ethereum, excuse me. And if we lose that, it's going to be big trouble, guys, because what we'd be doing is we'd be falling back inside your volume profile, your 4-year long range volume profile, and you'd be losing your band of support. And remember, with these major Pitchfork levels, if you lose that value area high in that band of support, there is a potential we could drop all the way to the midline. Well, look at the confluence we're seeing at the midline. Previous cycle highs, volume profile, or VWAP there. Lows from this cycle, VWAP there. Channel midline there. POC of this range there. I mean, we have a lot there. Also, let's pull a Fibonacci. Fibonacci is not there, but our 786 is going to be there pretty much right in that general area. So a lot of support in this general area. And remember, guys, their quick move up means quick move down. There was not a lot of structure for support in here. We have a little order block right here. That order block could hold us, that daily, that order block, but that order block already has been tested. If we zoom in here and look at this, you can see that let me see, what did I just do? That order block has already been tested with this wick here. So it's already been mitigated. And now that that order block's been mitigated, you know, there's really nothing in here, guys. There's really nothing in here. We have a daily level down, coming down here around 2540-ish, 2539. Okay. Let's go into Solana, guys. Solana, real quickly, I just kind of mentioned it, but a few weeks ago, I had a purple box at between $190 to $200. And that was our macro logarithmic golden pocket. If we pull a Fibonacci from the highs to the lows of this multi-month drop here, or multi-week drop, and we turn on our golden pocket. But remember, because this is more than a 60% drop to the downside, you need to come in here and you need to based off log scale, because we are on the log chart. And where was the area where we were going to reject if we were going to reject on Solana? It was going to be our macro golden pocket in confluence with our value area high of our range that goes all the way back to March of 2024. So we did attempt, just like a lot of these coins, let me just hide some of this stuff here. We did attempt to break above our volume profile, and we saw that failed auction type price action. Broke above it, immediately lost it, then came up for a bearish back test of it. Let me clean this up so you guys can see this better. So let's turn off our parallel channel. There we go. All right. And you can see we broke above it, tried to get above it, could not, lost it, bearishly back tested it on the daily. We wicked above it, but could not close a daily candle body above it. And now we're dropping. So if we lose this anchored VWAP support, then we're going to make it down to our next anchored VWAP. If we lose that, POC. And really, both of these anchored VWAPs have confluence with inside the right where that support level is. So the boxes are not just there because the anchored VWAPs are there. There also happens to be a multitudes of confluence of support in these boxes. But it doesn't look too good on Solana as far, actually, we're at support now, and our daily money flow doesn't look the worst, okay? It is attempting to come up. There is a potential that we hold this support and we do push up. But now that we have hit the golden pocket of our double 1-2 impulse in here, if we're looking at this as a 1-2, 1-2-1-2, and then this is your big third wave, your fourth wave has now invalidated the impulse. So because of that, what we need to be watching, even if we bounce here, we need to watch for a potential lower high to come in on the charts before now making a larger lower low as well. And so let me get rid of this log golden pocket, and we can look at, say we are going to bounce from where we're at right now. We are at a support level. We're not really seeing too much bull divs on the chart, which is concerning to me. But if we pull a Fibonacci from the highs of our correction to the low, our current lows of the correction, where's our golden pocket coming in at? Right at the macro value area high. So if we do bounce here, I am still interested in taking a long here. If we take a long here, I would take at least 75% profit at $189, where we have the macro value area high in confluence with our lower high golden pocket retrace. So yes, there's a potential for a bounce here. If we zoom in onto the 2-hour chart, no bull divs, money flow looks like garbage. Yes, NAMI is seeing local bullish divs. And remember, NAMI is a bit faster than Market Cypher B. So a bunch of higher lows on the momentum waves, but your money flow still doesn't even look that good. No bull divs on Market Cypher B. If we go onto the 1-hour chart, 1 hour is seeing those bull divs here, higher highs here, but money flow is overall draining pretty bad here. I am interested in a long from here. I do not like what I'm seeing so far. If I have to get in late, then I'll get in late, because let's go to the 15-minute chart. What I would want to see is now 15-minute chart is showing us that we could get at least a local move to the upside. I mean, like, look at this. Lower lows through all of this, higher lows through all of this, money flow coming to the upside, about to cross over into the into the green, excuse me. So now we are seeing a potential bounce area, at least for a local bounce. Now, we need to watch the midline for a rejection at 173, 173.5. And also, if we zoom back out and we pull our volume profile and we just look at the volume profile of this like upper range that we're seeing. So from this area to, we can even include all of it. So that value area low that's coming in right around 175.5, 175 really. Now that is going to be acting as a resistance now that we're losing this volume profile. See, support here, broke through it to the downside. If you bounce from local support, watch out for a bearish backtest before continuing lower. And so TP1, I would honestly try to save most of my TP for this. But if we do reject from that, I will pull 50% out. The second we start rejecting from that, not the second, because obviously you're going to see like a 1 minute rejection. But if we start to close like even 15-minute candles red after rejecting from that, I probably would at least take 50% out of the scalp. Z Harbin, I'm not scalping too much today because I'm waiting for confirmations. And yes, we are seeing some 15-minute, 12-minute, 6-minute confirmations for longs, but I just don't like what we're seeing. And also Bitcoin wasn't at support. Did Bitcoin just hit the support level? I just saw a comment. Yeah, Bitcoin's hitting support. So now guys, Bitcoin is hitting support. Bitcoin could see a bounce from here. We did just invalidate the impulse to the upside, but we could see a bounce from this area and we could see a scalp long positions come into play here. Let's see, money flow. Just look at this money flow, guys. I mean, ouch. I cannot. And we also invalidated your local bull div. So this was a bull div here, and we were looking for a third lower hump, but we still have bull divs between these two. Let me actually clean this up. We still have bull divs between these two, but we wanted to see a third lower hump to make a 1, 2, 3, nice little 3 curve to the upside, a nice little rounded bottom there. And we wanted to see money flow starting to bottom out here. We're not seeing that. Yes, could we see a bounce from this area? Absolutely we could. And we could bounce even all the way up to the midline. The midline, we're bouncing from the bottom of the channel. We have internal highs from yesterday at that midline. We could bounce up to take out these semi-equal lower highs. And let's zoom in on this. Let's actually look at this because it might be a decent scalp play. Let's go here. All right. Are we seeing... Yeah, I mean, like, look at that candle immediately being retraced right away. Yes, we are seeing some nice 12-minute bull divs here. You know, all of this money flow curving to the upside. Locally, NAMI is not showing bull divs, and I would want, because NAMI's faster, I'd want NAMI to be showing us some bull divs. So I would wait a little bit lower. We actually haven't hit the band of the Pitchfork, and guys, I think Pitchfork levels are the levels to watch. I mean, I know I'm biased because I'm a Pitchfork trader, but if you look at our macro timeframes, we go back to the 4-hour chart, and when did we actually bounce at 74K? First of all, when did we bounce on this range? When we actually came and hit the Pitchfork midline. When did we bounce at the 74K lows? Okay, we didn't quite hit the midline here. We front ran it by just very, very little, just like we did on Bitcoin just now. Front ran it by very little, came back down, hit it to the exact dollar, and that's when the big impulse to the upside started. So, you know, I think these Pitchfork levels are absolutely genius, good levels to watch. So very, very locally, we are not hitting that Pitchfork band just quite yet, which is right around that 0.65 Fibonacci. 4-hour money flow just crossing over into the red. No bull divs. No bull divs on NAMI. NAMI's money flow is about to roll over again here. It's starting to roll over again. It just does not look good, guys. And let's zoom out to the weekly chart. And I know Jay covered this on his stream today. Now, I am not seeing a red dot on my charts, but we could confirm a red dot today. I mean, like, look at this. Let me go to a different chart. Look at this bearish engulfing weekly candle. Like, that is a bad sign. So an engulfing candle, we had a green candle last week on the weekly. An engulfing candle is when the red body of the candle engulfs the entire last week's bullish candle. So we are seeing a very bearish engulfing candle on the weekly time frame. We are a couple days away from closing this weekly candle, and if we close it this bearish, you bet this thing is going to top over and start to roll down, and money flow might even start to top over and roll down. And then guess what? You have absolutely confirmed triple drive of weekly bear divs, absolutely confirmed triple drive of weekly money flow bear divs. Very, very bearish in my opinion for higher time frames. Yes, could we see one more push up to see a fake out? You know, you oftentimes see something like this on the weekly. Come down here, do this, and then that. And that confirms, or, you know, like this. Boom, a little one, and then there. But that little hump on the weekly gave you a nice big push up here. So we could see something very similar where we get one more big push up, and hopefully it pushes us up to one more new all-time high, but it's not guaranteed. And this is a weekly time frame, so it will take weeks to play out. I will say locally, until today, we have seen, and actually I wouldn't even say until today, including today, I would say that this does look more corrective since our descending channel. Now, if we start to lose this descending channel, it's not looking so much corrective anymore. It's looking pretty much like it could be impulsive. But even locally, we could be looking at a 1 2 1 2 1 2, a triple 1 2. You're in your third wave, and then we could 4 5 4 5 4 5. See that like grind towards the beginning, your big impulse down, and then your grind towards the end. You know, you might be seeing something very similar to that be in play here. It's not the highest probability for me right now, but we do need to keep it in mind. I want to see, let's go on to the 5-minute chart here. Yeah, you guys, I just don't see enough right now. I know we are at support. I know we are at golden pocket support, Pitchfork support, bottom of the channel support. No bull divs on money, no bull divs on the 5-minute. Money flow looks like garbage. Nami is showing some bull divs, and money flow is attempting to come up, but this is only a 5-minute chart, and every other time frame is bearish. I have to say here, guys, we are just not looking good. I said it in yesterday's live stream. We were at our local support. We were not seeing confirmations to enter right up in this area. I did not take the long because of that. Actually, no, it was here. I did not take the long because of that, and we did break through it. Right now, we are not seeing confirmations to enter a long. I want to long. Trust me, we're at support level. I want to long. I am not seeing my confirmations, so I am not going to pull the trigger. All right. Has everyone, what's the next stop? So yeah, I do think that 113, you know, we're at the 113.6 area and coming down to about 112K, could be 111.8. But I just think that it's not looking good here, and we could drop to 109K and then 107.9K. All right, let's get back to the altcoins. Let me get a drink of water real quick here, guys. Okay, so for XRP, let's zoom out onto the daily chart. We're still looking for that potential impulse to the upside to finish. Now, XRP has not invalidated its impulse, and I've talked about this. XRP hit our macro 382 down here. Should have given us a buy, and look at that strong buy reaction from that. We saw an impulse here in a contracting diagonal, wave 1, hitting into our value area high of our macro range and the top of our channel, hitting into a lot of support up here, or resistance, excuse me, up here. We rejected. We came down to our macro golden pocket, also the value area low of the range. We bounced. We saw our wave 3 come up to exactly where it was supposed to, up to our 1.618 Fibonacci extinction target. We rejected from that 1.618 Fibonacci extinction target. I gave this to you guys weeks before we hit it, at least a week before we hit it. We were looking at this level. Now we're expecting a wave 4 correction all the way down potentially to 279, 278.7. And so, yes, I do think that XRP, now yesterday I gave a local scalp trade. I gave the scalp trade of the SFP of our range lows into our daily level of support. If we SFP those range lows, hit our daily and reclaim that, now we can look to enter long locally. And guess what? We have done that, and we are attempting to hold those prior lows now. Honestly, if we have confirmations to enter this, I might enter this right now, and we would be looking at something like this. And that's not a good enough trade for me, though. Let's go here. Let's actually pull our volume profile. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that POC right there is kind of where we need to be looking at. And so for me, the risk reward's not quite there for this trade. And we are below our 0.382. And we have not made it down to the 0.5. So even though we're bouncing from a daily, the risk reward's not there for me on this trade, personally. Now, if you want to take it, take it. You could protect position right away and look for a rejection. I mean, you could pull, what I would do, because it looks like we're in a more complex WXY correction. And so if we are in a WXY correction, you know, like sort of your 3-wave move down here, then you have your 3-wave move up here. We could be expecting some sort of 3-wave move down here. And then you could get another double zigzag type of thing here, and then one more big one down here. The thing is, our correction should take about 39, around 39 days. That's how long this correction took. Our wave 2 correction took about 39 days to complete, and your wave 4 is generally similar in time symmetry. Doesn't have to be. It's not a hard rule. It's a strong guideline though, and your wave 4 is often longer than your wave 2. So we are expecting more grind down on XRP overall. Sure, you can scalp long, counter trade, scalp long some when you get to support levels, but for me, we're not really seeing what we want to see. 4-hour no bull divs, money flow. Let's see. Money flow is looking like it wants to come out again. NAMI is showing some local, well, no, the local bull divs already played out, and now our momentum wave's dropping here. Let's go on to the 2-hour chart. 2-hour chart, no bull divs, money flow looks like garbage. No bull divs, money flow, it's coming up, but it doesn't look good yet. Let's go on to our 1-hour chart. 1-hour chart, no bull, well, very slight bull divs here. Very slight bull divs. Money flow is flat. Let's say flat here. And actually the low that we want to reclaim is this low. I don't know why that was there. So we have reclaimed our previous low. We are above the 0.382 Fibonacci, and we are bouncing very, very locally from your VWAP. So actually what you could do, if you really want to risk this, I don't even know if I am comfortable saying this, but like pull your volume profile. If you're a very low time frame scalper, look at this range that you're in. First of all, we rejected from the bearish backtest of the value area low. That should give you a sign right there that lower is expected. But we are reclaiming VWAP. We bounced from VWAP, flipped it to support. So you could look for a long position from where we're at now. Stop could go below VWAP lows, and then you could be targeting the POC of this range, 2.63, or even the value area high of this range, taking out all of these semi-equal internal lows. Actually, I would even just pull it down to those semi-equal. That's still a decent scalp trade. But here's the thing. If you are going to scalp this, if you reject again from this, if you come up here, you grab liquidity and reject. You grab the liquidity from earlier today and then start to reject, close the trade right away. Be happy with what you got. Be happy with what the market gave you. And it's a very high likelihood after taking internal liquidity that we're going to continue back down. Let's look at our 15-minute chart. Do we have any bullish signs? Okay, yeah, there is some bullish signs here. We did just print the hidden bull div on the back test of our VWAP, and money flow curving to the upside, about to cross over into the green, and we are seeing local bullish divs. Lower lows in the price action here, higher lows in the momentum waves, and our money flow is now curving to the upside. But guys, we need to get immediately back above this value area low at 3057. Yeah, we will do SUI as well. Absolutely. We're going to do SUI. We're going to do, ICP as well. I want to cover Curve. We're going to cover a bunch of altcoins here. We're going to cover Say. So needless to say, XRP, you could be looking at a scalp right now. I personally am not comfortable taking this scalp position. We're going into the weekend. I don't want to babysit. It's probable we're below this value area low. We rejected from it earlier today. It's probable that we could start to form a range in this general area for a bit. Or, probably in that general area, we could start to form a little bit of a range for the weekend. It's a tough one, guys. It's really a tough one. Let's go to the 6-minute chart. Yeah, so local bull divs here that are starting to play out, but money flows cross back over into the red and no local bull divs. I would want to see some local bull divs in between here, and we're not really seeing local bull divs, not hidden bull divs, I should say. Actually, you do have a hidden bull div. Higher lows on the price action, lower lows on the momentum wave. So you have that 6-minute hidden bull div there. And on NAMI, it's not showing the hidden bull divs, but yeah. 4-hour chart. Let's see. Your momentum wave has bottomed out. Let's go to the 8-hour chart. Let's see does this look. Man. Yeah. So you are seeing a green dot on the 8-hour chart, a nice little green dot here, a big bin green dot, as Jason says. But it just does not look too good for me, guys. It just doesn't. Let's pull our volume of this entire corrective move. Okay, if we pull the volume of this corrective move, we are above, excuse me, the value area low, and we might make it up to that POC. So 313.7-ish, 313.6. It's up to you guys. I gave you the technical analysis. If you guys want to try a scalp on this, please protect position. Please use risk management. Do not get overzealous on a scalp. Be happy with what the market gives you. But we are seeing the confirmed SFP, and we are bouncing from the daily level. We do have some local bull divs, but it's not a lot. Grotto's easy. I don't have, as far as educational material, I only have one video on Fibonacci retracements. I plan to make a lot more educational video, but really this is what the live streams are about too, is I go through the TA, but I try to explain why in an educational way, why I'm thinking what I'm thinking, why I'm doing what I'm doing. So I would say if you just watch the live streams every day, you will learn a lot from those, at least about my view on trading and what I think. So, yeah. And you know, I learned I've never taken a technical analysis course in my life. I never have. I was going to take White Phoenix's when it came out, but he like took about a year to finish it. And by the time he finished it, I kind of already studied Wyckoff. And I have not even taken Jason's free course. You know, I've never taken a course, but I learned so much by following other YouTubers' daily live streams and learning from them, and then kind of adapting it into my own style. Also, I read a lot of books on it, or I guess, you know, ebooks, websites, stuff like that. And I just kind of learned different ways of technical analysis and kind of tailored them to my way of trading and mix some of those. You know, I use Elliott Waves. I learned a lot about Elliott Waves from Coons. I learned a lot about volume profiles from Frankie Candles is the best volume profile trader I know by far, but I really learned volume profiles from Jason and K-Pax in Jason's group. He's no longer there, but anyways, all I'm trying to say is you can learn a lot from live streams. Manan, yes, I do have a Telegram group. The link is in the description, but in order to get into that Telegram group, so thank you for that reminder, actually. Guys, real quick, I want to shout out the partners of the channel. We do have a few partners. So first off, we have BYDFI. They are an exchange that is a VPN-free exchange and a KYC-free exchange. All you need is an email and a password to sign up. Now, if it is in a restricted area, you might need to use a VPN. But if you do sign up using my affiliate link, you'll get 17% discount on trading fees minimum. The more you deposit, the higher tier discount fee you'll get. But if you deposit just $100, you will get a 50% deposit bonus. Like, that's a huge deposit bonus on a $100 deposit. And if you sign up with my affiliate link and deposit $100, then you could get access to my Telegram group. So I have partnered with BYDFI. We have created a Telegram group where I do post some of my trade setups. And lately I've not been posting a lot in there because really there hasn't been a lot to look at yet, like as far as bigger trades and more confident trades to be taking. But if you want access to that, sign up, deposit the $100. Once you've done that, you can click on the Telegram link in the description. And once you're in that Telegram, you have to hit /verify. You type in /verify and then type in your user ID number, and it will automatically get you into that Telegram group. And then you guys will have access. It's free. The money that you deposit in the account is yours. You get a 50% deposit bonus and you get access. So for me, it's a win-win. You know, you guys are getting discounts on trading fees. You're getting a 50% deposit bonus. You're getting access to a Telegram group. And for me, it's affiliate marketing, obviously. So I do get a small fee of your guys' trading fees. I get a small percentage of profit on your guys' trading fees. Other than that, I do not get paid from them at all. Second up is NAMI. Now, NAMI, guys, I really do love NAMI. NAMI is a momentum and money flow indicator, very similar to Market Cipher B, but different in many, many ways. The money flow is actually based off real money flow, and the momentum waves and money flow are a bit faster. So for scalpers, NAMI definitely is, I would say, a better, if you're a scalp trader, NAMI is quicker and a little bit better. NAMI is, I partner with NAMI, and they're giving me a 50% discount code for all of my affiliates that sign up using my discount code. You guys can use the discount code. So the link in the description for NAMI's website is there, and then the discount code is Divine50, and the discount code is also in the description. So if you guys are interested in purchasing NAMI, that's there. Third, I am partnered with MEXC. MEXC is an exchange, very low fees, and they're offering a 20% deposit bonus. If you deposit $100, you'll get $20 free. And then they have, you can get some money, depending on how much you trade in futures, some bonuses there as well. Lastly, we have Bybit. Bybit is one of the largest derivative exchanges in the world. They're very, very well, they had the $2.5 billion hack and they recovered from it. They showed proof that they are a legit company. In my eyes, Bybit is one of the most secure, best derivatives trading exchanges in the world. And if I could trade on Bybit, I would be. Let's just say that. I'm in a restricted area and they do not allow citizens of Palu anymore. But if I could trade on Bybit, that would be my exchange I would trade on. So link is in the description for them as well. All right, guys, back to the TA. Let's get into SUI and let's go to Say first. Someone asked about Say first. We'll go to Say, then we'll go to SUI. We'll go to AVAX. We'll go to a bunch of the coins, CRV, ICP. We'll get into this, all right? And now Say, let me zoom out here onto the daily time frame, and let's talk about Say on a more macro level. Let me hide some of this stuff on the charts. Because Say really, really is rejecting. I mean, we gave the long from 24.67 and the main take profit was 38 cents. I mean, that was one of the best trades in a long time here. CRV, we also had a good trade on. But okay, zooming out on larger time frames. Say topped out, had its all-time high. And then from that, we had a weekly major correction, A, B, C, or whatever you want to call it, WXY, a major three-wave correction to the downside. We hit into our 1-to-1 Fibonacci target perfectly, which also happened to be exactly at the bottom of our high time frame bearish trend Pitchfork. Bounced there. We saw a very, very clean impulse up from that low. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, rejecting from the Pitchfork midline. But we saw a 5-wave impulse up. Okay, that right there should have told you, look for a higher low on the daily time frame and look for new highs to come in. So we came down, we rejected the Pitchfork midline, came down, saw a small bounce from the top of the band, but eventually dropped to the bottom of the band, bounced from the bottom of the band, and we pushed up. Also, if we look at our golden pocket Fibonacci pull from the lows to the highs, and let's turn that on log scale. Okay, that is on log scale. Maybe we should keep that off of log. Let's see here. Is that more than 100% move? 90%. So it's on the borderline of 100% move. So let's look at the non-log golden pocket. Let's see how that worked. Yeah, it was your log golden pocket. You wicked a little bit past your log golden pocket, but you hit into the log golden pocket and your bottom of your channel, your Pitchfork band, your Pitchfork band. Bounce from that. So that's your most common area for a bigger wave 2. You know, if this is the start of a wave 1, a wave 2, and we're going to see a big wave 3, that was my highest probability. Now with what we're seeing here, it's starting to look a little iffy. It's starting to look like it could have been another 3-wave correction before downside. But anyways, more locally, bounce from the bottom band, came above our, let's zoom in here a bit onto the 8-hour. We came above our Pitchfork midline, and you can see here what happened the first time we came up into the Pitchfork midline. It was just a big wick, but tried to get above the Pitchfork midline, couldn't, and we dropped. But then we impulsed above the Pitchfork midline with a nice volume imbalance candle. Now, right here, if you guys go back and watch the streams, from whatever this day was, Thursday, June 25th and June 24th, because I said it, I gave you guys this long right as it was happening. I said, guys, we're breaking above the Pitchfork midline with a volume imbalance. If we do come back and back test that was also our very local golden pocket area. And I said, I am going to look for a long from this area. So we hit 24.67, which was the golden pocket perfectly, hit the Pitchfork midline perfectly, back tested it, and then we pushed up to the top of our channel, top of our band, top of our Pitchfork band. But you can see, first time we hit the Pitchfork band, nice rejection, local scalp short. Second time, nice little rejection. But we were waiting for 38 cents. Why were we waiting for 38 cents? Let's go to the daily time frame. Let's pull a golden pocket from the highs to the lows of this entire push down. And you look at that log golden pocket. Where was it at? 38 cents. Exactly in perfect confluence with the top of the Pitchfork band. Okay, so we took profit. I personally took profit exactly at 38 cents right here. We rejected. Now, I did short that, but I got stopped out locally because I got on this candle here, this daily candle. If you zoom in, it makes me salty to this day. I got stopped out after a TP1 on that sucker because I moved my stop loss up a little bit too soon. Anyways, who cares about that? Let's talk about the TA here. So we chopped around in the band for a bit, trying to hold the band as support, but then we lost the band. And over the weekend, we tried to backtest the band. We saw a little bit of choppage around it, backtested it, but then look at what happened here on Tuesday. Lost the band, backtested the band, and now we're dropping here. So Say is looking, I mean, we're losing major support, but we're rejecting from the major resistance, log golden pocket, top of the Pitchfork band. Now, what we can do is we can pull a volume profile from the time that we busted above our midline all the way to present day. We're at the point of control of that range. We were looking at two separate ranges. We were looking at this being one range and this being one range. But now that we are falling back inside of our old range, you can combine the two together, very similar to what we did on Bitcoin when Bitcoin had its macro range, its all-time high range and that lower range. And look at this. We're bouncing from the POC. Now, we have not quite seen what we want to see here. I mean, there is a potential we do see a decent bounce from here and even come all the way up to the value area high, which look at where that's at, 33.8. It's the bearish backtest, a high time frame bearish backtest, because since losing this band, we've had our low time frame immediate bearish backtest and a confirm of a rejection. But since falling back inside this volume profile, we have not had a high time frame backtest. So potentially for me, on Say, this area of resistance will be an area where I will potentially be looking for a short all the way back down to the value area low of the range or even to your midline at 23 cents. That is going to be a major level. Now, let's pull a golden pocket from the highs to the lows. Let's make sure that is off a log scale. You can also see your golden pocket is coming in right around that area. So this is our area of resistance right here. If we come back up here, I will be looking for shorts if we have confirmation to enter shorts. Now, if we lose the POC before then, it's very highly likely that we won't even come up here. We'll probably keep dropping all the way down to the value area low. Look at this structure here. No structure here in this push up. If we break this point of control, it's very highly likely that we come down here very quickly, like very, very quickly. Okay, so let's pull a golden pocket from the lows of the range to the highs of the range. We have broken below our golden pocket. Let's look at our 786. So 786, I highlighted this yesterday in the live stream. Our 786 is around that POC, and this area generally is our area of support that we would want to see a bounce from. Also, let's turn on our naked daily points of controls. Okay, so naked daily, it's a bit lower. I don't like where that's at. And I believe there was a naked weekly there as well in that same area. Oops. Yeah, the naked weekly's there as well. So I don't really, if we're going to bounce, I want to see us bounce from where we're at right now. Do we see confirmations to enter a trade here? Let's go to the 4 hour. No bull divs on the 4 hour. Very slight bull divs on NAMI here and money flow bull divs as well. Okay, cool. First, it's a kind of a mixed signal because NAMI showing it and Market Cipher B's not, but 2 hour money flow looks like garbage. We just printed a hidden bear div. Okay, that should give you a sign there, guys. We just printed a hidden bear div on today's lower high. Hidden bear div on NAMI. Not a good sign. Okay, so now I definitely am not looking for a long just yet. Do we have 1 hour bull divs? Lower lows, higher lows, money flow, higher lows. That you get the point. Higher lows here on money flow. So we are seeing some 1 hour bull divs on momentum and money flow. NAMI here, bull divs, money flow crossing into the red, into the green. Excuse me. But once again, that hidden bear div just printed, showing that at the very least, we're probably going to come down and back test that POC again, or actually hit the 786 and wick a little bit past it. So for me, because we are seeing some slight bull divs on the chart. Let's go to the 30-minute first, and let's check the 30-minute out. Yeah, bull divs here, money flow coming to the upside. Bull divs here, hidden bull div just printed. Okay, so now we are seeing low time frame bullish signals, but higher time frame bearish signals. So I am interested in a potential long from here. What I would want to see, personally, I would want to come down a little bit lower, maybe hit the POC or even the 786. Now, if we hit the 786 and then we reclaim POC, oh yeah, I'm going to long the reclaim of the POC. My stop is going to go below that 786, and I'm going to be targeting the value area high. 6.5 risk to reward ratio there. And that would be a potential full take profit and a flip to a short, because we are expecting a major correction from our log golden pocket. We hit into our log golden pocket at 38 cents. Since we hit into that and we're losing our upper band, there is a high probability that we at least come down and test the Pitchfork midline again, or at least take your range lows out, your semi-equal range lows down here. Yeah, so I mean, right now, very locally, we do have a scalp long opportunity in the making. Let's go on to the 15-minute chart. Let's see if we have anything on the 15-minute. Yeah, 15-minute looks really good for a scalp position, but I want to come down a little bit lower. Let's see, we're rejecting from VWAP right now. And if we cannot reclaim VWAP, then you know, VWAP is going to act as kind of that like intraday rejection point. Because if we're in a bearish trend and you come to VWAP and reject, you can expect the bearish trend to continue. So very, very locally, and also 15-minute looks like money flow is about to roll out again. But we are seeing some nice bull divs, not only on momentums, but on money flow as well. Low, higher low, higher low. And if we can do one more little dump here and see that, nice. That would be nice to see. So say is getting close to a long possibility. Now, if we lose, like I said, if we lose the point of control and the 786, really we're expecting to move at least, at the very least, down to 25.7, but probably coming down to 23.2, 23.18, 23.2. I think that over the weekend, so this also looks pretty bearish here as far as our correction down so far. We have this 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, or actually this is probably the start of the third wave here. So we have a double 1, 2 in here. You have your 1, 2, 1, 2, and then this is probably the start of the third wave. You have your big first crash, your retrace to your golden pocket, and then this is the wave 3 of your third wave. Could be done here. You could see a 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, something like that. But let's pull actually to see this. Let's do this. Let's pull this from this lower high to this low, and let's look at our golden pocket. So yeah, we rejected from the golden pocket. Wickage a little bit past it, but really rejecting from our golden pocket. So that's where your wave 2 you do want to reject. Now let's pull a trend-based Fibonacci extinction. Here, let's go to our 1.618. All right, so that could have been the end. Let's see. I don't really like that as the end of the third wave, though. Okay, if this is a 1, 2, 3. No, it can't. That can't be a. This is a tough one to count here. But if you're not sure on the Elliott waves, just look at other things. Like we're at support locally. This does look impulsive to the downside. Now, let's say this is a 3-wave corrective move. This is your 3-wave corrective move. Then if it's an impulse down, or if this is a bigger 1, 2, 3, guess where your 3 would end? 4, backtesting that value area low, and then maybe a 5 to come down. And that could be your 5-wave impulse to the downside on the daily time frame, or on a larger time frame on, say, if it's an ABC correction target and we're going to continue higher, then we look at our ABC target zones. It's a little bit lower. And that's why actually now that we know that our 1-to-1 target is a little bit lower, I would be waiting to come down locally, even locally, come down at least to hit that 1-to-1, maybe the 786, reclaim that POC, and there's your long right there. So for me, we're not quite at the long area just yet, but between 2764 and 2742, that's your area of support you want to really be looking at. And if we pull our previous range, let's just grab this and bring this just to our previous range. Then do we have anything there? No, not really, actually. No volume confluence there, which is kind of upsetting. Not upsetting, sad to see. So yeah, say guys, we are at local support. I want to see a little bit lower, just a little bit lower here to that 1-to-1 at 27.64. And then if we bounce from 27.64, I am personally not longing until we reclaim the POC at 28.08. TP would be 34, around 33.8 to 34 cents. Okay, Sui. All right. Guys, give me just a second. I got to answer this text real quick here. Okay, so on Sui, you can see that we rejected from our macro value area high and our naked weekly point of control. This was the area that I was saying we should see a major rejection from. That was the only box on the chart that I've had on there for weeks before. But overall, in the context of things, we have our bigger descending channel from the all-time high. And since hitting into that all-time high, making a impulse up on the daily time frame, a very clean impulse, you can see this 5-wave structure. So now we're starting to say, okay, this multi-month correction could be done with, and now we could be about to push up here and break to new all-time highs, just like we saw with XRP. Actually, I would like to see something here real quick. Let's go on to our 2-day chart. Let's pull Fibonacci from the lows of the last major to the highs up here. And let's turn on our 382. Where's that? 382, but let's turn it on log scale. Did we bounce from the 382? Kind of, not really. I mean, you see some wickage past it, but that was kind of our low. Look at this was our accumulation zone here on the higher time frames. We wicked a little bit past it. Did we wick to the 0.5? Not even hit the 0.5. So yeah, we bounced. So bouncing from this general 382 area from this macro impulse here should give you a bias that, yeah, this thing is bullish, likely to break out and make new all-time highs, okay? We saw a clean 5-wave impulse on the daily up. We broke above our descending daily high time frame bearish trend. This channel is our bearish trend since making an all-time high. It's our bearish trend. What we wanted to see here, and this is where it gets a little bit iffy for me, we wanted to see a break above not only the channel, a breakout of the channel, but a break above our value area high of this macro range. Let me pull this to here. So what happened though is we were looking for a possible fake out of the channel to touch into our macro value area high and then see a rejection. What did we get? We got our possible fake out of the channel. Finally, we chopped around above the channel until we came up to that value area high. Hit the value area high, rejected. Now we're at the POC of our range. Now, I told you guys yesterday, 347 was the next major level I was interested in taking a long from. I said I wanted to see an SFP of these lows into our macro POC. Now, we got the take of the lows. We did not really get an SFP. Okay. And we still have not, and we're still kind of chopping around. It's very likely that we form a range between the POC and the value area low of this upper range. We form a range like kind of in here. Now that we're breaking back with inside the channel, if we start chopping around like this between the POC and the channel, you can expect this is going to be a consolidation range, possibly before more downside. Unfortunately, there is a possibility in a bullish case scenario that we chop around here for a bit over the weekend. And if we reclaim this and reclaim the value area low, then yeah, bullish, 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 you know, expect to come up and take out highs. Or not necessarily that yet. We could be looking at pushing up to, because we have broken market structure now on higher time frames bearishly. With taking out this low, it's a MS break, market structure break, right? So we broke market structure bearishly. So now that we have broken market structure bearishly, you now as a trader need to, in a bearish scenario, pull your Fibonacci from the highs to the lows and turn on that golden pocket. And if that golden pocket right there, sure enough, aligning with the value area high of the range, is going to be a resistance level. So I see right now, if we bounce, if we get a long position from this general area, I will attempt the long, and this would be at least a 75% TP for me, maybe 65%. That is going to be your golden pocket value area high. Let's see if there is a naked weekly point of control in there or a naked daily. No naked weeklies. Why'd I turn that off? No naked dailies either, unfortunately. But we do have a naked daily here. That's of yesterday, so we'll pay attention to that. That is going to be an important area. But for me, more locally, the two areas I'm interested, if we bounce from where we're at, if we bounce from this general area, two areas of interest for me for shorts. The SFP of these highs from Wednesday into your POC. SFP into POC, because you could reject the POC. You know, POC is considered fair value for the past 3 weeks or so, since July 14th, 2-3 weeks. So if we come up there and we SFP and reject from that area, that could be it. Now, it's a little bit more likely that if we do bounce from here, we reclaim that value area low, then we fill the volume profile and come all the way up to the value area high, which is where your macro golden pocket is anyways. If we do drop a little bit lower before seeing the reclaim, then guess what? Your golden pocket, let's just do this. Your golden pocket is going to be in confluence. Let's pull it down to the anchored VWAP. Yeah. Okay. Here's the thing, guys. POC could bounce us right now. If the POC bounces us right now, our main area of interest is this box here between 405 and 408. That's your main area of resistance. Now, if we continue dropping to the anchored VWAP and bounce from the anchored VWAP, then your main resistance is going to be the POC at 398 to 402. And right now, it does look like we could drop, unfortunately, we could drop to that anchored VWAP. And let's see what else is down there. Our dead cat range lows. You could even be looking at all of this as a range. And you've lost your value area low. Actually, this is honestly looking, ooh, that is bad. Okay, so if we pull this updated range, this more updated range here, you can see value area low bounced us, lost value area low here today, rejected value area low on the bearish back test today. Not a good sign. So here's the deal now. Like we probably do have a higher probability of continuing a little bit lower. SFP into anchored VWAP. Not guaranteed. The POC could hold, but that is looking like it's a possibility. Let's go to the 8-hour time frame. Yeah, money flow is just about to cross over into the red here. NAMI, no bull divs, money flow in the red heavily. Let's go to the daily time frame. Daily time frame, money flows rolling over. We did see daily bear divs coming up into your value area high. Not a good sign. Money flow rolling over. Bear divs. Yeah, money flow crossing into the red. Not a good sign, guys. I mean, this could drop more. We might see a small bounce from this POC. If we do this, actually, let's zoom in onto the 15-minute. Oh, this is really rough here, guys, because what we saw already, because remember, this was our macro POC right here. So we bounced from the macro POC already, then came up and bearishly backtested the range, value area low, and now we're dropping. So what this confirms to me locally is that we are probably going to lose the POC and come down here. Now, yes, it's possible we form a range over the weekend because we're going into the weekend, form a range in this general area, chopping between the macro POC and the value area low of that range, even seeing wickage to come up to grab these lower highs or wickage down to grab this guy here and just kind of range kind of in between that area. Let's go to the 6-minute chart. Are we seeing, we weren't even really seeing that much bull divs here. Lower lows here. Yeah, we were seeing higher lows here. And I guess you could say lower lows here and higher lows here. Money flow, bull divs. Yeah, I mean, let me go back to the 4-hour chart. All right. this just doesn't look good. The rejection earlier today from this value area low just does not look good. Could we see it hold at least for the weekend? Sure. But this guy here, and then let's pull. All right, this was our golden pocket pull. Let's change that. Okay. Yeah, it should be a log golden pocket. It's close enough. So if we lose the anchored VWAP, look at no structure in here. We'll drop. So if we lose this and don't bounce here, we're dropping to here. And honestly, like the drop to your macro value area low might be possible. Yeah, unfortunately I have to say. Okay, that is about it for Sui. Let me check the chat here real quick and see what you guys are saying. Okay, we still have ICP. Jesus Save 77. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. About the wrist. Thank you. Can you check the 2-day money flow on BTC? Any thoughts? Let me check that just very, very quickly here, and we will go back to ICP. Gosh, it's rolling over. It looks like it's starting to roll over. Now, this is where having both NAMI and Market Cipher B comes into play, because NAMI is quicker. So Market Cipher B is now just starting to come down on the 2-day, but you can see since the top of the momentum wave on Market Cipher B, that's when we topped out on money flow on NAMI, and look at what NAMI did for us. NAMI gave us that 2-day bear div. This is where NAMI being a little bit faster can be good. Higher highs in the price action, lower highs in the momentum waves. Now that money flow is topped out and is consistently draining out of the asset, oh man, it sucks. You know, it sucks to see this. If you're a bull, we could see a bigger correction here, guys. And I hate to be doom and gloom, but we could see a bigger correction here. So far, our support level's holding, and I suspect that we at least hold it a little bit. Now we finally came down and hit the pitchfork, guys. Finally came down and hit the pitchfork band. This is what we were waiting for. Okay, if we start to reclaim this, let me check this out. Do we have a scalp long from here? Money flow bottoming out, not on NAMI. I want to reclaim this channel. If we reclaim this channel, long, stop goes below the low. I would be targeting, VWAP could be your first TP because it's a area, but honestly, I'd just be targeting the midline. That's pretty much a 6-to-1 risk reward ratio. You could even put your stop below the 0.65. 4-to-1 risk reward ratio there. But I'm not taking it until we reclaim the channel bottom. But we finally did hit the pitchfork, guys. Can you show how to use a pitchfork? Yes, I will. Yeah, Leonidas, I'm sorry if I butchered that name. Thank you for that comment. You should have educational videos. You really have valuable information. Well, thank you so much. And I do try to, I like the live streams because the live streams give you guys the education along with real-time updates about what is happening. So for me, if you really are paying attention to the live streams, you can learn a lot of the education while also keeping updated on the market. And this is how I learned how to be a technical analyst and proficient in trading. So I would recommend just tune in every single day, keep learning. Yeah. Can you look at total 2? We can look at total 2. So well, ICP total 2. Let's see. Bybit no longer accepting Palu. Yes. Travis, thank you for that. And that's why I do not trade on Bybit, is because they no longer are accepting that, because I am a citizen of Palu. Market Cipher B. How much is Nami in Market Cipher B? Market Cipher B is like $2,000 or something like that. I paid for it like 6 years ago. The whole $2,000 for lifetime, I think. Nami with the 50% off discount, it's like less than about $500 or something like that. It's much cheaper. And I really think that Nami, if you guys are going to really be traders, like if you want to do this as a living, I think it's worth the investment for both of them, to be honest with you. Now, with Market Cipher B, maybe wait for a sale to go on, because CryptoFace does put sales on. But right now, False Prophet gave me a 50% off discount code, which is the second highest discount code he's ever given out ever. And when he did the 65% discount code, it was for 3 days during a holiday weekend. I think it was the Labor Day weekend thing that we just had. But really, that's such a good discount by False Prophet, and I appreciate him so much for allowing me to have that for my affiliates. So I would really, guys, that's not going to be there forever. He has been very generous already with how long he's allowed that 50% off discount code. So if you are planning on being a long-term trader and actually trying to make a living doing this, then first of all, I always say this, no matter what indicator it is, price action first. Learn how to do the TA, learn how to find the levels of interest, psychology, and then indicator second, right? And so, but I would, for me, these are such good for confirmation. Like, imagine we didn't have Market Cipher B or Nami right now. We're coming down to support. We're hitting support. And it's like, or yesterday, we're coming down to our local golden pocket support levels, right? A lot of us were looking, including myself, was looking for a long at this golden pocket area of support, right at the value area low, around that value area low. I think that was the area. This guy here. Yeah, because your volume profile was a bit different. Value area low, golden pocket. We were looking for a potential long right here, but as we were coming down there yesterday during the live stream, by the way, live, we went through this and I said, guys, I am not seeing anything here to look for a long. I am not taking a long. Yes, we are at support, but my indicators gave me the bias not to long. Now, I know a lot of people that didn't use indicators long this, and no shade against them at all. They longed this and they got stopped out yesterday. Well, it saved me enough. It gave me enough of a confirmation not to enter the trade. And sure enough, guess what happens? Drop below, backtest, drop. So that is where indicators can absolutely help you in your trading with confirmations to enter and exit trades. Now we are down at the lows. We are seeing some confirmations, but I'm not comfortable yet. I mean, we see low time frame confirmations on Market Cipher B and Nami, but we don't see anything really of substance yet. We are hitting into our macro support level as far as local macro support levels. So yes, I am interested in the long, but until we reclaim, I'm not looking for it. Okay, SPX. Yeah, SPX, please. That's where you left off the last stream. I think you were talking about SPX 6900. So we have ICP total 2, SPX 6900. Yeah, SPX 6900. Okay, we'll do that right now because I did tell you we would do that. So we'll do SPX 6900. If Bitcoin doesn't go any lower, don't you think SUI won't either? Yeah, MJ25. If Bitcoin does hold this support, Bitcoin's at support, Solana's at support. Oh, Solana's breaking support. Damn. SUI's at support. Say is at local support. A lot locally, a lot of these coins are at support. XRP's kind of at support. Yeah, there is a potential we could see a bounce here. But I would just say it's not looking the best yet. Let's see, USD, is it SPX 6900? Okay, I don't know which. I'm just gonna go with this one. I believe this is the right chart here. Yeah. Okay, so let's pull a volume profile of this range. I know this is pretty much the entire life of the coin, but that's what we can pull for now, and it's not even working. Is that? I would do this one. Okay, there we go. Bounce from value area low, reclaim POC, pushed up, tried to stay above value area high. We couldn't. very high probability we drop down to the value area high, which is probably going to be where your local golden pocket is. Let's do this. Golden pocket 786. So I would say, yeah, very, very locally. We will do ICP, Curtis J. I told Raul yesterday, he wanted SPX 6900. I ran out of time, so I told him, remind me, and we'll do it right away. But we will go through ICP. We will go through Total 2, I promise. We will go through both of them. We'll do ICP next. Okay, so right away, locally, I see this internal liquidity grab into a golden pocket. Anytime you see an SFP into a golden pocket, pay attention to it. 3-hour time frame. SFP of these local lows into your golden pocket. So that could be a level. And then let's pull our volume profile of this upper range here. And your POC is going to be riding close to that. Let me turn this off for a second. Yes, and Tiamat, we will definitely do link as well. So thank you for that super chat. I really do appreciate that. All right. Yes, okay. Guys, we will get through as many coins as we can. So I will yeah, as many as we can here. All right. Now, I do see a trend that we have been in. So if we go from the lows to our first major higher low. All right, I don't like the way that channel looks. So let's pull it from the highs. From our first major high to our second major high. Pulled down to our lows. No, that. All right, that's your channel. That's your trend you've been in. So you can see a little bit of wickage past it here, but overall holding it as support. We're at the bottom of the channel now. Now, here's the thing, guys. If we do break this channel down, you can see a fake out of the channel to grab the liquidity into the golden pocket. But be aware, this has been your trend really for the past couple of months since, when is that? Since March. So the past 4 or 5 months, mid-March. And so if we start to break this trend down today and close a daily candle below where we're at pretty much right now, it's not going to look good. And we could, so when you break a big trend like this, pull your golden pocket from the bottom of the trend to the top of the trend and look at that golden pocket. Now that's going to be more than 100% move. I'm almost positive. Yeah, 800% move. So you're definitely going to turn that onto log scale because we are on log scale, and that is going to be your macro support level right there. Golden pocket, and that's also right around the second pivot of the channel. Now the second pivot's not completely clear because we pulled it from the highs down to your first low down here, but I would say this guy right here would be your second pivot of the channel. It's just a little bit of a deviation of that channel. So, but this is your macro support level where you could see a bounce from 58 to 52, 58.8 to 52.2. That is the range POC. And then look at this, guys. Here, look at this volume gap in the volume profile. Not a lot of volume here. So we're at the level of support right now, starting to come into this high volume node, this volume area. If we lose that, quick flush, we could flush down. And the reason why when you see a ascending channel or a descending channel, so this is your trend, but look at people long here, their stop is going to go below that low. Then you find a higher low here, people long here, their stop is going to go below that low. Now you have another higher low, people long here, their stop is going to go below that low. Then another higher low, people long here, their stop is going to go below that low. People long here, their stop is going to go below that low. People are longing here. Their stop is probably going to go below these dead cat lows. So you have a liquidity trail that builds a lot of stop losses. Now, when you start to break that trend, you squeeze them out quickly, and you see what's called that liquidation cascade. Boom, 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 boom. And it just triggers more and more and more of a squeeze, and you just drop hard and aggressive and start taking out all of that liquidity. So be aware. This absolutely could happen on this coin. If we start to see this break in this trend, this bigger trend that we're seeing, if you start to see that break, the fake out into the golden pocket is kind of your last hope. Fake out and to grab a local liquidity grab into golden pocket. But if you lose that, okay, you could still bounce from the value area high and 786 area. This guy here. But really, I would be very wary of that. you are above this volume profile. And as long as you're above the value area high, it could hold as support. Let's pull our smaller range here. So let me go get rid of this bigger range now. And let's get rid of this. Let's pull our smaller volume profile of this upper price action. Yeah, okay. So we really don't want to, even though your value area high of your macro range is like at 123, we really don't want to lose the POC and the golden pocket of this area. This is going to be the guy you want to hold. Most local support is coming in here. If you lose this, yes, there's a small possibility you bounce from this, but I would honestly say if you lose this, you're going to flush down pretty hard. Hard and aggressive is my middle name. Tiamat, I love it, man. I love it. So now let's zoom out onto the daily chart. And do we see daily bear divs? Yes, we do. Higher highs in the price action, lower highs in the momentum waves. Money flow is now consistently draining out here. Also with NAMI, all of this, higher highs here, lower highs here, money flow draining out, about to cross into the red here. It does look like this could get a bigger drop. Let's go to the 2-day time frame. Yeah, 2-day time frame, bear divs, money flow topping out, bear divs, money flow bear divs here. Very slight money flow bear divs, but that is bear divs on the money flow dropping out. To me, I think we're going to lose this trend soon, guys. Very, very soon. 4-hour chart. Money flow aggressively leaving the asset, actually not even really bull divs here. So you can see here, lower lows in the momentum waves. Now it is showing a local bull div internally, but I don't know. I don't like that. And money flow coming out here, no bull divs on the 4-hour. It looks like we're about to dump on this thing. I honestly would be potentially interested in a short on this. Can we trade this on MEXC or on let's see here. Okay, yeah, look at this, guys. Very bearish money flow. Yes, you are seeing some bull divs. But the money flow is going to overpower that. You are at your local support. Last hope is a fake out bounce, SFP bounce. So I think, unfortunately, this thing is going to dump. I think, unfortunately, it's probably going to dump. You are attempting to hold it. Let's go to the 15-minute. Let's see if we see 15-minute chart. Come up here. Let me get rid of some of this. My wrist is feeling better, guys. Moving it around like this is actually helping. It's like physical therapy. Yeah, bull divs here. Lower lows, higher lows. Money flow is attempting to come up here. All these bull divs here on the 15-minute looks decent on low time frames, on higher to medium time frames, but we did just print a hidden bear div. Actually rejecting from the VWAP, we just printed a hidden bear div. So low 15-minute bull signals. Now with these 15-minute bull signals building, we can watch for the fake out SFP, golden pocket, POC, reclaim. But for now, I would say the SPX 6900 has a high probability of at least breaking down to this golden pocket. And on higher time frames, it does not look good. 2-day time frame does not look good. I do not know what this coin is, if it's like a meme of the S&P 500 or what kind of use case it has. But like, look at this rejection from the midline here. Really bad. You could have expected a drop down to the bottom. Now, if we bounce from here, watch for that. Okay. Other than that, let's see here. Your previous highs, you're falling below your previous highs. So even in terms of breaking out above your previous highs, you had the SFP of the highs and a nice correction down. Okay. You made a higher low overall on the daily time frame, or on the 8-hour, whatever you want to say. Daily time frame, because you did take these lows out on the 8-hour. And we pushed up all of this range up here is what's called a failed auction, right? Where you're attempting to break out of a previous major high. You're forming ranges, and now we're breaking down below it, and we're taking out the lows of the range without a liquidity grab. So we took out these lows here, no liquidity grab, and actually look at this. This is what's bearish. Took out the lows, attempted to get back above it. Let's go on the 4-hour chart. Attempted to get back above it, couldn't, and we're dropping. I really do think this thing is about to dump. Man, I wish I would have saw this earlier. I would have shorted the shit out of this thing. Is this available on? Oh, wow. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm just checking to see if this is even SPX. No, it doesn't look like it. Maybe it is. Okay. We'll just get back to the trading or to the live stream. But yeah, that's what I would say, guys. A failed auction type price action. We're falling below. We're taking out our range lows. No SFP of the range lows. Breaking our ascending channel. Now we can see a very big flush on this thing. Yeah, MEXC. Okay, cool. All right. Let's now go to ICP. ICP. Okay. ICP's losing our golden pocket and our POC. Not good right there. This is our lower accumulation range. So what happened on ICP is we have this as our accumulation range that's been forming. So we had a big range up here, lost the range, and now on the daily time frame, we've been forming this accumulation range, right? And remember, we were talking about potentially coming out and taking the highs of the range before seeing another big drop here. But we've already started the drop without taking out the highs. In some ways, this is a little bit more bullish, and then actually that's a bad PO. That's a bad retracement. That was based off of speculation. So let's do that. And golden pocket, but that is going to be more than 100% move, I believe. Yeah, no, 45%. Okay, so let's leave that there. So you have your big range volume profile of the entire bottoming part. Now this ICP is a little bit weird because it got launched up right away, and I think at one point it was even at like $600, and it dropped right away. So this is kind of like the actual fair value of the asset of its entire lifetime, not just of the bottom. But you could call this a bottom accumulation range if you want to take all of the shenanigans that went in at the beginning to play. But the POC of that larger range, we are below now. You can see right now we're dropping below it. Okay, so I'm going to hide that. I mean, that right now already is a bearish sign. But if we're looking at our smaller daily accumulation range here, okay, and guys, just a sec, I got to let the dog in. Just give me 1 second. Okay, sorry about that, guys. So we're losing the macro POC, and we're in our daily accumulation range on ICP. This is your daily accumulation range here. Coming down to your local golden pocket. So this golden pocket was of this entire impulse up. You're coming down and you're hitting that support level now. So this is a support level as well for ICP. Daily time frame, money flows leaving and crossing into the red on NAMI. Right away, that's a semi-bad sign. Okay, now let's go on to the 4-hour chart. Let me get rid of this guy. Do we see any bull divs here? Yeah, we do see slight bull divs, but money flow has crossed over into the red. and it's leaving no bull divs on NAMI. And this is where NAMI could come into play. So we're seeing some slight bull divs on Market Cypher B. They're not even that good. Money flow looks like crap, and no bull divs on NAMI. You know, I would expect us to at least come to that POC there. Let's pull this all the way. All right. And, you know, we came to the top of the range. We fell back underneath the volume profile, and we've lost the POC of the range. Now the POC is shifted up just with that pull there all the way to present day price action. The POC has shifted up, and we've lost it. And that's also kind of our upper range that we were in up here. So now we have a high likelihood of coming down to the value area low. Let's take this here and let's turn on our 786 as well. Yeah, 786 value area low actually to me looks better than just this golden pocket, because now this golden pocket's the only thing here. I would say we have a high likelihood of dropping down there. No bull divs on the chart. 8 hour. No bull divs on the chart. Money flow crossing into the red here. All right, for me, we might see a small bounce here, but watch if we bounce here. Watch for a back test of the POC and then a drop to value area low, because we haven't back tested the POC since losing it. Now that the POC just shifted up there. It just shifted up there, and there's a low volume gap in this area. So if we bounce from the golden pocket, we can expect to move up to this POC. Now, for me, a potential day trade or swing, like kind of swing trade short on this thing would be if we come back up to that POC and start to reject, stop goes below that lower high, that high there, and I would be targeting value area low there, 4-to-1 risk reward ratio. That could be a very nice scalp short position there. Actually, I'm going to set an alert here, and I'm going to look at a potential short here. So we will hide that. We'll leave that there. But yeah, I mean, honestly, this is the level of support that I would be personally interested in a long from. Down here. Between 476 and 473, let's say. 472.8. And then if we lose that, we're coming down to take out these lows down here. And the way, you know, we did hit into our 1-to-1 Fibonacci target. You know, if we're looking at the bigger 3-wave corrective move, hit into your 1-to-1, you know, you had this nice giant impulse to the upside. So after an impulse finishes, you're looking for a correction. This was a bigger, let's just say a weekly impulse. So now you're looking for a weekly correction. That weekly correction came exactly to your 382. We bounced. Now that is why we are starting to form accumulation here. So it's very good to see an accumulation range starting at your ABC target lows. But because we rejected the highs of the range, now you can expect to go down to the lows of the range. And if you're pulling your volume profile, you want to look for the high volume nodes, which is the value area low here. We've lost the POC. We've lost the value area high. We have a high likelihood of continuing down to that 476 to 473 area. I would say that could be a potential swing long area to come up and take out your 632 highs. I mean, for me, I would absolutely be looking for that. And let's actually just come in here. But there is, I have to say this, that is your undervalued region, but there is a possibility we come take the lows. So it's not a guaranteed. I'm not setting a limit order there right now and saying I hope it bounces from there. When we get down close to that, if we are seeing some bull divs, especially on like 4 hour, 8 hour, 12 hour daily, I will absolutely look for a swing long opportunity. But really, other than that, guys, there's not too much else to cover. You know, we've lost our trend. We've lost this bullish trend here. We're seeing that 3-wave corrective move down. Let's actually do this. Let's pull our trend-based Fibonacci extinction. Okay, so we are hitting our 1-to-1 target for that Fibonacci extinction. You could see a bounce in this area. Man, this is really tough because if this is going to be, well, even in a 3-wave corrective move, 1, 2, 3, 4, you didn't see a wave 5 here. So that is not a 5-wave impulse to the downside. So you have to look at this as a 3-wave corrective move here. Okay, so you got your 3-wave corrective move. Let's actually zoom in on this just a little bit. We can look at this. So you have your 3-wave corrective move down here. Then you have your 3-wave corrective move up here, WX. And then we want to be looking for a 3-wave corrective move down here in a Y. So this 1-to-1 is still a target here. We're at our 1-to-1 in our golden pocket. I want to see if we see any scalp opportunities from here. Yeah, we are seeing 30-minute bull divs, 30-minute bull divs. Money flow doesn't look the best, but it is starting to curve up. 15-minute here. Nice 15-minute signal here. I would say this could be a scalp long opportunity. Now, remember, if we're going to scalp long this, we're only going to scalp long this. Let's 6-minute. Yeah, 6-minute looks good. I think 24-minute. All right. Dang. The problem with the scalp long from here is you have your macro POC just above you. No, but you know what? Let's do this. Let's look at a potential scalp long, bringing it up to, and this is the weird part. You see when we zoom in on trading view, the POC shifts down here where we're at. It's our 1-to-1. It's our POC. It's our golden pocket. But then when we shift up to higher time frames, it shifts that POC up here to this area. So let's just make sure. Yeah, I mean, that is the bottom of your range. Let's do that right there. Put the stop below the 0.65. Bring it just up to that golden pocket, 4-to-1 risk reward ratio. I mean, this could be a decent scalp trade to look at. Money flow does not look good on the 2-hour, on the 4-hour, but on the 15, 30-minute and under, we are seeing some slight bull divs. The thing is with this, guys, if you're going to try to long this right now, stop would go below that 0.65. And what I would be targeting is the first thing, if we come up to this VWAP and reject, I'm closing the trade. I don't care if it comes up and I miss out. I am going to close this trade if we come up to VWAP and reject again, because VWAP's been rejecting us all day long. But this is a potential scalp long opportunity. $1.5. So let's do this. Sorry, guys. I'm just calculating my risk right now. Okay. You could use about 2/3 of your portfolio, and if you get stopped out, you'll only lose 1%. So, what's up, Darren Does Things? Welcome in, man. Good to see you here. Okay. BTC sell or buy. I mean, that's up to you to decide. We're at local support. Oh, we're reclaiming. Okay. Are we reclaiming this? I think that we might be able to attempt to scalp. The money flow just looks like such garbage here. Such garbage, but 30-minute, yeah, okay. 15-minute, okay. You know, to me, Bitcoin is at support, and we are starting to see some low time frame bull divs and a scalp. If we once again, you reject from VWAP at 114,750, you close the trade. But I think that now a 0.8% stop loss. I mean, I think I might attempt a scalp long. The problem is, do I attempt it on ICP or on Bitcoin? Because I think ICP looks decent right now as well. Whew. Yeah, and we did fill the CME gap. I think we did on Bitcoin. So would you please do TA on auction? We're going to get to as many as we can, guys, but we do have a lot to cover. I am going to cover Chainlink next for Tiamat. Okay. Yeah. Curtis J, absolutely, man. Once again, guys, we were waiting to hit the actual Pitchfork band. That was hit, and now guess what? We're starting to push. I'm just gonna look at. I'm sorry, guys. Just give me 1 second here. All right. It's a scalp long opportunity, and on ICP as well. Honestly, ICP looks a bit better, to be honest, and we haven't pumped quite as much yet. I think I am going to. I mean, I guess you could take it on both, but yeah. Okay. Let me check very, very low time frames here. Hidden Bear div just printed on the 1 minute there. Money flows coming up on the 1 minute. If we retrace back down to 5057, I will look for a long on ICP. Even if we don't, I might look for a long there. But remember, guys, if we reject from VWAP, at least pull some out and protect your position. I know that that's like almost a nothing trade, kind of stupid in some ways, but we have to pay attention to the bearish trend. And on a bearish day, the VWAP will often reject you. I mean, like, look at this rejection from VWAP all the way down here. All right. Yes, Indy, my videos were bullish because we had a bullish 112 impulse that has now been invalidated today. So the bullish sentiment kind of shifts today based off of invalidating that bullish 112 impulse. But I still am. It's not like I'm macro bearish, but you have to change your bias based off what the charts are telling you. And here's the thing: we have finally lost this range that we've been in for a month. We've lost the value area low with a big impulse to the downside. So yes, now my bias is shifting here. We are losing not only the value area low of this range, but if we go on to our multi-cycle pitchfork, we're losing the midline. And if we close our weekly candle below this midline, then absolutely you have to change your sentiment. You can't keep your sentiment based off, just because you want to be right. You have to be willing to pivot based off what the charts are telling you. And yes, we were looking at this as a corrective move here, which it still could be because we just hit the bottom of the channel. We could pump up if we reclaim. I'll shift bullish again. But now that we have hit, if this is our 1, 2, 1, 2, we had our big 3, we have now just hit the invalidation for a wave 4. So we cannot look at this as a 112 impulse anymore. So because we've hit that invalidation, now what we can do is pull our golden pocket from the highs of the range to the lows. And we got to be looking at this as a potential TP area. And remember, our daily's right around that area anyways. You know, we have this internal liquidity grab into your daily, into your naked daily point of control, value area high of the range. So now I would be looking absolutely at this area right now as a major TP if we bounce. But the value area low, look at where the value area low is. It's at the bearish back test here. So my first major TP, say you just longed right now, right there, 50%, 75% pulled out right away because we could do this. Boom, boom, you know. So yes, I have been bullish and expecting new highs to come in, but that literally changed today based off hitting the invalidation of the 112 impulse. Also, just we're not seeing confirmation, guys. Locally, we're seeing confirmation for a scalp, but that's about it. That's about it. Okay, let's go on to Chainlink. Chainlink, daily time frame here. So Chainlink has not quite invalidated its impulse yet. Actually, let's do this. Before I say that, let's make sure. Yeah, if we come down to 15.6, we'll invalidate it. So Chainlink has not quite invalidated its impulse. And we did reject, pull that there. We did reject around the value area high of our macro range. This goes back to November of 2023, so a 2-year long range. We didn't quite touch the value area high, which I'm a little bit disappointed by. Now, maybe on other exchanges we did, but I follow Coinbase. And even though we haven't hit the invalidation of the wave 3 impulse yet, it doesn't look very good losing this upper range value area low. And also, if we zoom in on the 4-hour chart, we're losing the anchored VWAP, our key anchored VWAP from our cycle highs. We'll zoom back out. Cycle high anchored VWAP. And remember, we want to see, if you want to see true strength on like higher time frames on Chainlink, you want to break above that, flip it to support like we attempted here, and then keep breaking up and really breaking above the value area high of this range. But we couldn't do that. We made a lower high. We could not break out of the volume profile, and now we're dumping. So if you reject from value area high on higher time frames, you reject from value area high, you start to form bearish market structure, where can you expect to come down to? The point of control of the range. Well, guess what else is at the point of control of the range? At the point of control of the range is our macro golden pocket, pulled from the lows of this impulse to the highs of this impulse. This area here could be a potential spot, swing long opportunity on Chainlink at 14.5 to 14.2. I would be looking for a potential swing long opportunity. Now, looking at this push down that we've seen so far, this does look awfully like a 3-way impulse down. It's starting to look like an impulse down. So let's pull our trend-based Fibonacci extinction from the highs of wave 1 to the lows of wave 1 to the highs of wave 2. If it's an ABC correction, we're in our target zone right now. We need to bounce in this zone, not coming no lower than 15.92. I mean, we could come a little bit lower, but not really. Now, if it is an impulse to the downside, guess where our wave 3 should end? You should see a wave 1, 2, 3, probably a bounce 4, 5. Your 5-wave impulse is going to end right at, not necessarily there, but that's a high likely area for that 5-wave impulse to end. And then hopefully, but because we had seen a 5-wave impulse down, we would also need to watch for, you would pull a golden pocket from the highs to wherever you in that impulse, and you'd need to watch this golden pocket for a potential lower high before making another 5-wave impulse down and a lower low and seeing your bigger 3-wave corrective move of this entire structure. So for me, Chainlink, 12-hour looks pretty bearish, lower lows, higher highs, bear divs. We printed a hidden bear div on the 12-hour on our lower high. Not a good sign. That probably told us we were going to come take out these lows. Well, now we've done that. Okay, let's go on to our daily time frame. On the daily time frame, money flow rolling over, no bear divs, but money flow crossing into the red on NAMI. Let's go actually to our 4-hour. As long as we're below the value area low of this upper range, and look at you guys, I know people hate patterns, but this is like a head and shoulders topping pattern here. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. You're starting to break it down now. Let's just do this, even though I'm not so much of a pattern trader, but let's just look at this. Left shoulder, head. Now, here was the key of this right shoulder, breaking it down so we can take a look at the measured target for this. But this is what's key here. A lot of people, when they're looking at patterns, they don't look at market structure as well. In a head and shoulders pattern, when you make your low on your left shoulder, that's going to be a key low right there. And so now you're going to place your thing here. And when we came down, we made a lower low here. So that's a market structure shift, a bearish market structure shift, right? We broke market structure bearishly by breaking that low. Because we broke market structure bearishly here, now we need to look for a lower high to come in, and that could create your right shoulder. Where's the most common area? Between the 786 and the golden pocket. Pull your golden pocket, pull your 786. Did we reject from that area? 786 golden pocket, we were rejected from that area. Now, because we confirmed bearish market structure shift, we were looking for a lower high. We came up to that lower high, we rejected, and now we're breaking our neckline here. You attempted to bounce from the neckline here, but you're now breaking it to the downside. There is a potential that this pattern does play out. So we pull a trend line, we take that and we measure it on the breakout. Let's just be conservative, put it to there, and you're looking at that 1.618. That's where your wave 3 should end. You know, if you're seeing a bigger 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, coming down, you're going to look at some sort of bounce there where you meet that target. And we have some internal liquidity coming into that daily level, coming into that 1.618, coming into that anchored VWAP. I would say that's our next major level of support there. Let me turn on some levels for Chainlink. Do we have any monthly levels? No. Do we have any weeklies? Now, I know we have a brand new weekly that we need to map out. And a brand new monthly, really. So the weekly level down at 13.5 is our first weekly. Let me map out the monthly here. Monthly, no, I mean, okay, no new monthlies, but that monthly's also right at that 13 area, 13.5 area. Let's go back to the 4-hour chart and let's look at our dailies. Just that 15.1 daily, and that's up there. Okay, and do we have any naked monthly points of controls? Okay, let me double check this. This might have been one that I didn't delete. Do we have a naked monthly point of control? Yeah, that one was hit. That should not be on there. I didn't update that in time, but you can see we hit that naked monthly. Okay, do we have now this naked monthly from last month? Very key area because it's right above some internal highs. So 3, 6, make it monthly POC. Come on, go down. Okay, naked monthly there. Do we have any naked weekly points of controls? And in between this area here. No naked weeklies, but look at this area starting to get really juicy down here. Let me see if that naked weekly's on the charts. Okay, wow, I have not updated this in a long time. Shame on me. Let's just take this and let's bring it down here. Okay, and then that is now going to be 14.04. So that $14.5 to $14 area is looking very juicy. But no new naked monthlies, no new naked dailies, no new, let's check dailies real quick. No new naked monthlies or weeklies. Do we have any naked daily points of control in here? No, not really. We took out that one there. And we do have one at like 15.4. But other than that, this is your next major area of support down here. So yes, I wouldn't even say we're at support yet. We're at some local levels, but I think this has a high probability of continuing down. And I would be looking really at that $15 area, 15.1, 15.2 down to like 14.94. And that would be your first area for a bounce. Now, if you come down there and bounce, be aware, because you are still expecting one more low. You would at that point now be breaking this head and shoulder down, meeting the head and shoulder target, bouncing from this area. But here's the thing. You would highly likely confirm a 5-wave impulse, a 1, 2, your big third wave would come down here, bounce from this general area of 4. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pull our golden pocket from the start of wave 3 to the end of wave 3. That area right there is going to be an area where you're going to want to look for a TP. Oh, no, excuse me, not that. Between the 0.382 and the 0.5. And guess what? Your 0.5 is right where your previous range lows were. So you're breaking this range down. Now that you're breaking those range down, those previous support levels in this general area are now going to act as resistance. So you could expect something like this, this, your 5-wave impulse down. Four-hour money flow looks like garbage. No bull divs. Printed another hidden bear div on the high Wednesday. 2-hour. Come on. Money flow looks like garbage. No bull divs. Very slight bull divs on NAMI, but money flow looks like garbage. 15 minute is starting to give us some good scalp signals. Lower lows, higher lows, money flow coming up. Okay. You're in scalp long opportunity for a lot of the coins right now. Bitcoin's maybe seeing a bounce. ICP maybe seeing a bounce. But I would say on all of these coins, it is higher likelihood that we continue down. Small bounces does not mean reversals. Okay, so scalp. Mindset of a scalp. Mindset of when you get to local resistance, look for potential head shorts to continue the trend down. I think that, unfortunately, Chainlink here, breaking your head and shoulders pattern, had the market structure shift before, had the lower high confirm, had the dump happen. We have the money flow draining out of the asset. No bull divs on the chart. To me, all indications are that $15.2 to $15 and then possibly $14.5 to $14. And by the way, guys, here, I did this on Sui about a month before it happened. We can click this guy here. Swing. And we got it on Sui. So let's see if we get it on Chainlink. Because I want to come up and hit this value area high, take this out. I want to break this range that we've been in for almost 2 years and start really seeing alt season. This range that we've been in, there is a potential that we can drop all the way down to the bottom of the range, 12.26. And the major thing, guys, the major thing I talked about that is very, very scary for me personally. If we look at the weekly time frame, and I talked about this many times, so this should not be a surprise to you guys, but from our 2023 bear market lows, June of 2023 bear market lows at $5 or like 4.9, up to our cycle highs of this cycle at $30. If we take our golden pocket from that low to that high, and it's going to be a log golden pocket because that's more than a 100% move, and we are on log scale, that logarithmic golden pocket is coming in at 9.94 to 9.37. Well, we had on that multi-month dump that we were getting while Bitcoin was retracing to 74K, Chainlink came down. We had a very, very key internal liquidity grab. Now, why is this a key internal liquidity grab? Because look at that volume imbalance candle to the upside. There was a lot of stops, or a lot of people that long that area, stops below that area. And it is a little mini accumulation range that happened here during that summer, or not summer, but that few months in there of, fall, winter. And so that key internal liquidity grab, we had front run it on this multi-month drop to the downside. If we zoom in here, you can see that we had not only front run our logarithmic golden pocket, which is barely ever front run in major drops like that, and we had front run just very, very slightly, very, very slightly, the liquidity grab into our golden pocket. And the second that happened, I said, guys, I am very wary of this push up. Now, in a bearish scenario, 3-wave corrective move, and guess what we do? Come take it. That could happen. That could happen. So as we're coming down to this potential spot buy opportunity, if I'm seeing bearish confirmations, I will not spot buy there. I will wait for the $9, $10. But if we come down here, you bet my butt I'll be buying. You bet. So that there is a bearish scenario. And let's look at, real quick, while we're here, let's look at our corrective targets. Okay, very bearish what I'm seeing here on the weekly time frame, guys. We had a multi-month drop here, an impulse to the downside. This was clearly impulsive to the downside. Now we have our 3-wave corrective move on the weekly coming and hitting right into your 1-to-1 target. That's exactly where you expect to reject. Exactly where you expect to reject. We rejected there, wicked a little bit passive, but it rejected. Now there's a potential for another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave impulse to come take out these lows. That would create your bigger A, B, C, because within an ABC, your bigger weekly ABC correction, let me just throw this on the charts. Let's say we're seeing a bigger A, B, C correction within your A wave. Let me just do this. Within your A wave down, you're expecting an impulse. We call it a 5-3-5. 5-wave impulse here. 5-wave impulse here. Within your B wave, you're expecting some sort of 3-wave corrective move in itself, right? Your 3-wave corrective move oftentimes to the golden pocket. Where did we reject the golden pocket? Here. That was a golden pocket rejection. And then within your C wave, a subcount of a C wave, you're expecting another 5-wave impulse down to take out the lows of A. So we have not, the lows of A are right here. And in a very bearish scenario, see how we're just doing fractals within fractals? So a bigger A, B, C. Now we can pull our trend-based Fibonacci from the highs of our weekly correction, and we could come all the way down to 626. You don't really want to come down there, and I would actually turn this. Let's do this. Let's take this off log scale for that, and you would want to come down and hit, where did that go? Oh. All right, where are you? No, that, okay, whatever's happening there, that's, it might have been like down here. But okay, so in the very, very bearish scenario, you're going to come back down to $6. In a weekly bearish scenario, I don't know if we're going to come down that far. I mean, this accumulation range for 2 years, this was the cleanest accumulation range I've ever seen. Accumulation for 2 years, breakout to the upside, very clean 5-wave impulse. I mean, like, check this out. If we just hide this volume profile for a second, very, very clean. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5-wave impulse to the upside, 3-wave corrective move down, another impulse to the upside. Now we're looking for a bigger 3-wave corrective move down, and coming down to that golden pocket that we front run from this high, that low to that high. So for me, the bearish case scenario on Chainlink is we are about to drop to $9, $9.94 to $9.37. But I wouldn't really expect too much lower than that. Maybe because your volume profile is at of this bigger range. Let me turn that back on. Was it this guy? No. Your POC of the range is down here. You could see a drop to the 786 down there, and that is close to your 1-to-1 target. But yeah, let's get rid of this. Okay. And then the value area low. Okay, yeah. I mean, let's zoom in on some more local TA here. It doesn't look good to me here on Chainlink, and we did reject from that 1-to-1. Even look at here, a fractal within a fractal. left shoulder, head, right shoulder, broke it down, hit your target, retrace, lower, high, golden pocket, breaking the bigger left head and shoulders down. So I know pattern trading gets a lot of hate, but it did become a fad for a reason, right? Because it does work. It's just pretty much a Model 2 Wyckoff distribution. Tap 1, tap 2, tap 3, Model 2 distribution, expansion to the downside, or distribution, you should say. Distribution is occurring. So, yeah. Rejecting from the value area high of not only rejecting from the value area high of your upper range that goes back to November of 2023, but also rejecting from the value area high from your 5-year long range. August 2020 to August 2025, 5-year long range, rejecting value area high, rejecting value area high. High likelihood to come down to at least the POC of your 2-year long range. 14.5, 14.2, $14. This does look impulsive. Like if we turn on our volume, let's zoom in a bit here. Actually, it doesn't look the worst right now. I mean, that a couple big spikes in volume, but you want to see some volume coming in here soon. It doesn't look the worst, actually. It doesn't. And if we're being objective, we are at our ABC target zone. This could bounce us. If you're bullish on Chainlink, which I am because I did buy some at $12. I bought some at $14. I bought some when we were down in this area here. And then we dropped a little bit lower, and I was underwater for a bit on it, but I knew we were going to retrace. You guys can go back and watch it around that time. But if you're bullish, macro, you want to see this bounce right now, or even in worst case scenario, you want to see us bounce from 14.2, because if this is an impulse, your retrace in a wave 2 comes to golden pocket, and then you blast in your wave 3. But if this is bearish, which I have to say, after looking at that macro Elliott analysis, rejecting on the weekly from this 1-to-1 Fibonacci target, it does not look good. After seeing the multi-month downtrend here, impulse down, 3-wave corrective move up. Are we looking for another impulse down? That would really, really suck in my opinion, but it is a possibility as a trader we need to be watching, mapping out both the bullish and the bearish case scenarios. Well, look at that. Bounce from your golden pocket, POC, come back up, make your lower high, and then continue down. Oops. I mean, that would be something that you could look at. And that would give you your bigger A, B, C. You want to see somewhat of similarity between then coming into your macro golden pocket, guys. I mean, look at, you just can't deny that that might be a real factor in the market. If we zoom out to the weekly time frame, are we seeing weekly triple drive of bear div? Well, we are seeing bear divs here. If no third drive like Bitcoin, but money flow bear divs about to cross into the red on the weekly, or roll over on the weekly. So I don't want to be the bear. I don't want to be the big bear. I know a lot of people don't like that, but this is a real scenario. As a trader, we need to pay attention to this. But remember, if you get down here, I mean, let's just do this. We already have an alert set here, but we already have spot buy down there, but let's just make sure. Oh, it has already passed. Okay, well then let's delete it and we'll create it again. Okay, there we go. All right. Boom. Okay, let me read the chat. UFO bullish news. Yep, Indy, we did. You know, our bias was for higher. So yes, my bias is going to go with probability. No trader is 100% in the market. You go with probability. You're not always going to be right. As a trader, you need to realize sometimes you're going to be wrong. And, you know, if you get braided for that, fine, whatever. No one's 100% in the market, and I'm okay with that. That's the risk of being a YouTuber. You put your opinion out publicly, and when you're wrong, of course, you're gonna have people like you coming in the chat saying, "Ha ha, ha, you're wrong." But it doesn't matter. Whatever you say doesn't affect my portfolio, doesn't affect my risk management, my trades. And I'm not trying to throw shade on you, by the way. I appreciate the criticism. Thank you for holding me accountable. When I'm wrong, you let me know it. All of you guys. Hey, you called this wrong, Divine Hood. Oh, great. And I'm not gonna be 100%. So I hope you guys do understand that no trader is 100%, and it's all about probabilities and risk management. So yes. Okay, let's see here. Let me check. I had Tao. I got a super chat. So the super chat, Sean, thank you. Aura, we'll go through Aura right now. I just want to cover the super chats, and I do gotta go soon, guys. Okay, I've already been streaming 2.5 hours, but we will. Aura Network. Sean, is this one the right one? Let's see. Looks like I'll use MEXC here. Oh my God. Let me see if there's a better chart for this. K6. Honestly, let's Bybit. I saw Bybit down there. Okay, here we go. Dang, this thing. Oh my God. This thing looks like a rug, to be honest with you. I have no idea what it is. It looks ruggish to me, but we are seeing weekly bull divs, lower lows, higher lows, money flow coming up. You're starting to, no, not even changing market structure bearishly. Watch for this rejection. This was your last weekly low. You're coming up to it, and you're starting to reject from your last weekly low. So you could, honestly, with coins like this that just straight bleed down, it's not very often that you V-shape back up. You'll probably start to form an accumulation range in here to see if it's a real project, to see if actual buyers are interested, and then you'll start to go. So be aware, we could start forming a range here. Let's go on to well, first off, before we do that. Damn, man, there's nothing here. Weekly's up here. Let's go to the monthly. No, wow. All right. I mean, like, you're starting to form a daily bottom here. Daily bottom was forming, and now you're pushing up. But look at this. Rejecting from your prior weekly lows. Not a good sign. Weekly lows, rejecting, coming back down. Does look, I mean, this is hard with all these wicks, but this does look somewhat three-wave corrective. And there's a potential you could just drop right back down. I have no idea what this is once again, but let's pull our fib. Yeah, that golden pocket here is going to be around your last daily highs. See all these wicks up here where you're rejecting on these wicks up here? So this golden pocket area is an area of interest. Let's pull our volume profile of this area. Oof, God. Yeah. I mean, the monthly value area low. Wow. That would be where I'm interested. That would be where I'm interested, personally. I don't know if you're trading this or you're trying to spot buy this, but honestly, it's coins like these where you're going to get wrecked. So if Sean, I'm not trying to be negative against you in any way, but be very, very careful trading these, man, because look at these wicks, and these wicks are major percentages because this altcoin is such low liquidity and such, it's a way to wreck your portfolio in trading. So be aware of that. If you are trading, well, risk management, no matter what leverage you're using, risk management should come into play, but you're probably going to get stopped out a lot on this thing because of the wicks. So as a trader, I wouldn't be trading it at all, but as a spot buyer, this general area, POC down to value area low, you have your 786 POC monthly value area low, that between 006, let's just say, and 0056. That's kind of where I'd be interested. Yeah, daily momentum wave topping out, money flow kind of topping out, but this does look good on the daily. Look at these bull divs that you were seeing on the daily here. So actually not even, you can't even do that because look at, you were seeing bull divs here with money flow coming up, but then you made another lower momentum wave here, invalidating the bull divs. So now I would want to see another bull div. So in that case, you want to come lower, make a lower low, and then see a new set of bull divs forming. But you did break market structure on the daily bullishly. So if you're breaking market structure on the daily bullishly, you could right here break a market structure, or you could even put it here. You broke market structure bullishly. So now that you're breaking bullishly, you can pull that golden pocket from the lows to the highs. This would be my very first area of interest, but this is really the area of interest here. Other than that, honestly, it's okay. You have a very big, very steep descending channel here. This is your descending trend, and actually I would, let's see here. Yeah, that's your descending channel that you're looking at. So midline bounce, you came up to the top, you're rejecting. Coming back down to the bottom of the channel is your golden pocket. So let me get rid of that. Golden pocket at the bottom of the channel. You know, there's a potential you just do kind of this crap. If you break out of this channel, look for the back test, and I would pull a golden pocket from the highs to the lows, wherever those lows of the channel are going to be. Say you bounce from this midline here and watch that golden pocket, watch the second pivot of the channel, liquidity of the second pivot of the channel into your 786 or wherever that low is going to be. We don't know where the low is going to be yet. So if you come in here again, Sean, if you're looking at spot buying this and say we do come down, you know, and we bounce before the golden pocket, like say we chop around the top of the channel for a bit, come down to the midline and bounce and then break here, I would pull your golden pocket from the highs to the lows and then look at that. And in this case, the 786, taking the second pivot liquidity into your 786, that would be a stop, a take profit for me. Long here, stop below this low, coming up to your 786, you know, 5-to-1 risk reward ratio. But once again, with the wickage on this thing, be careful, man. Be careful. I wouldn't even trade it. Okay. So we've got a couple more. Doge. We can do Doge here. I super chat you Hbar earlier. Oh, you did super chat me Hbar? Hold on. I'll cover Hbar. I'm trying to find it. Oh, yes. Johnny, thank you, dude. I'm sorry about that. Thank you for reminding me. That wasn't intentional. We'll go through Hbar right now, and then we will go through the next super chat. Hbar, okay. And then what was it? Doge. Okay. Hbar, Doge. All right. Hbar came up to the top of our volume profile. This is our upper range that goes back to December of 2024. We came up to the value area high and the upper pitchfork band. Very similar to Bitcoin. Very, very similar to Bitcoin. Upper band value area high. Now, Bitcoin didn't have a value area high there. But we're rejecting. We did grab liquidity on the daily too. So look at this. You hit into your value area high. You rejected. You came up. You grabbed. You had an SFP on the daily time frame of that high into the upper part of the band. You actually hit the upper part of the band. And now we're dropping. We are close to macro support being that trend, that pitchfork midline here. And Hbar has not broken. So here, SFP of that daily high into the top of the pitchfork band, into your value area high. And we're rejecting the value area high, but we haven't quite lost. So here's the major levels to be watching. The low of the range. This is our upper range. Pull your volume profile. Pull it of this upper range here. Okay, we reject, after rejecting from the macro value area high right here, and the top of the Pitchfork band, we fell back in the macro volume profile. Then we fell back in our lower time frame volume profile, back tested it once, came to POC, bounced from POC, back tested it a second time. We're back down at POC, but it looks like we're starting to lose that POC, or we're really trying to. So the value area low is coming in right around your Pitchfork midline. This is very local support. I would say I would want to personally come a little bit lower. I'd want to actually wick past the midline, hit the value area low, reclaim the midline. But that is a level that you could be looking at. But your range lows are always an area of liquidity you need to be interested in. Unfortunately, if we lose this value area low, even if we grab that, you have to watch for the bearish backtest of the midline and then coming down to your macro POC, which is in confluence with the lower band. Reject the upper band, lose the midline, you have a high probability of coming down to the lower band. So I would say a macro level of support would be this general area in here. And let's zoom out onto the weekly chart. Okay, there's a big weekly imbalance candle in there. That does not look good. Let's zoom in to the daily chart. Do we have any daily order blocks there? Daily nothing? No. And here's the thing. If you lose this value area low, check out this big daily imbalance candle. This big guy right in here. And so if you start to break back within that imbalance, it's a high probability you drop all the way down quickly to fill that imbalance. So I would not be looking for too much. And yes, you have your SFP of the range lows, right? Kind of in the middle of that imbalance. But that's a very risky situation because you'd be breaking your major value area low and your major Pitchfork midline. So for me, only upon a confirmed SFP would I take that trade, but I would be hesitant even taking that trade with the confirmed SFP because you have the big imbalance in here and no support. Even coming down to your macro POC, now that is, I would say that is a level I'd be interested in. Let's pull our golden pocket from the lows of the impulse to the highs. And yeah, let's do golden pocket. Golden pocket is there. That is absolutely your macro support level. Okay, so this area here, this is golden pocket slash POC slash 19.4 to about, I would say, let's bring this up to here, 19.4 to 18.4. That's the area I would look at. Now, very, very locally, you did confirm bull divs, or bear divs, excuse me, higher highs, lower highs. Lower highs here, money flow draining out, money flow topping out. Okay, so it's not looking the best. 4-hour time frame. Do we see any bull divs? No, we are seeing some slight bull divs, but your money flow looks kind of like garbage. So you see lower lows on the price action, higher lows on the momentum waves. No, NAMI is not showing it, and we did print a hidden bear div upon rejecting the value area high of your local range. Okay, rejected value area high, printed hidden bear div. That means we're at least coming down to POC. We're at POC, but we're really not seeing any strength. I would be looking at that value area low. Honestly, that is the area because money flow is still coming out here. Even though you see a single slight drive of bull divs, I would be interested at the value area low. And here's the thing. You do have some internal liquidity resting right below it, but this Pitchfork midline you do not want to lose. Now, it is a higher time frame Pitchfork midline. You can absolutely see wickage a little bit past it and close your daily candle or a 4-hour candle at or above that midline. If that was the case, I would long that. I would, if you're seeing confirmation, of course. So I would want to see something like a wick to the value area low. And as soon as we reclaim this midline, I would be looking to target that value area high or even those double highs right there. This internal liquidity right here, right above that. Nice trade there. Very nice trade. You haven't lost your range yet. And actually, Hbar is holding up really well compared to some of these other coins. Let's do a trend-based Fibonacci extinction from the highs to the lows to the lower high. Yeah, I mean, your 1-to-1 target is right around that lower range liquidity. So if you're going to see a bigger ABC, grab that liquidity, get back in the volume profile. You'd want to see something like that. for me, value area low is where I'm watching. Reclaim the Pitchfork midline. If you break that value area low, watch for the liquidity grab and then reclaim of the value area low. But honestly, this is your guy down there. And all indications are locally. Let's go more local before I say it. Yeah, you are seeing bull divs here, but I would look for a little bit lower, at least hitting the midline at what is that? 23875, coming down to about 2353. But you are seeing some bull divs on lower time frames. For me, I would want to come a little bit lower because you are at point of control support, but yeah, it's up to you. That's the levels. It's up to you whether you want a long or not right now. It does look a little bit weak at the point of control. And wait, what's going on here? Now the point of control is shifted. No. Yeah, okay. You're starting to lose point of control. So I'd be looking down a little bit lower. Money flow starting to come out again. Okay, let's go to Doge. Actually, hold on. Now, guys, if I didn't get to your coin today, I'm very sorry. It's really hard for me to check all these coins. Of course, I'm going to give priority to the super chats, just as a way to say thank you for supporting the channel. But if I didn't get to it today, I do 3 live streams a week, and generally they're 2 hours minimum. So, and I've already been going for 2.5. Actually, I started at 45. So I'm going on 3 hours right now. I'm going on 3 hours here. And I'm going to do Doge, and then I'm going to get going here because I do have things to do today in order to get ready for some family stuff on the weekend. I'm very sorry if I couldn't get to it, but will you guys please just post it next time? I will try to get to it next time. You could post something in the chat like, hey, I asked about this on the last stream. You couldn't get to it. Can you please check this out? And I'll get better. Like, if I want to give you guys proper TA on these, I have to spend some time on them, 10 to 15 minutes on these things. But if you want just quick TA, I just don't feel comfortable doing that because I could map out something and then we could say, hey, you need to map out your levels properly. What I'm trying to say. All right, guys, Dogecoin on the daily time frame. I was looking at a potential, in a bearish case scenario, a potential 5-wave impulse to the downside. Now, it's not confirmed that it's going to happen. We have this lower range, this lower accumulation range here on Dogecoin, and we are coming up to backtest the value area high of that range. Now, our golden pocket, pulled from the lows of the impulse to the highs of the impulse, is a little bit below us, and that liquidity grab, that key liquidity grab, let's zoom in on the 4-hour chart. You can see that key liquidity grab before the last big impulse up, so there's some imbalance in here on higher time frames. So I would be looking personally, yes, you could bounce from this value area high at 19.53. Let's see, I would actually, yeah, you could bounce from that area, but honestly, I'd be looking down to this golden pocket. And let's see, was that on? Yeah, based off log scale. Okay. Liquidity grab into a golden pocket. That's the areas I'm always interested in. And anytime you see a liquidity grab into a golden pocket, if you come down there, you grab the liquidity, you bounce from the golden pocket, and you reclaim that low. Reclaim 18,841. That's an automatic long position for me. Long the reclaim, stop goes below the low, and then I would be targeting now a lower high. Golden pocket, maybe that internal liquidity, but you could pull a golden pocket from the highs of the move to the lows. I'm just going to put it right on the 0.65. And yeah, see where that golden pocket would be in the internal liquidity. And once again, SFP into a golden pocket. Now, this is a fake, theoretical golden pocket right now because we have not come down here yet. But that's how you can kind of map out your scenarios. So it does look like this is getting a little bit impulsive to the downside. Let's pull our trend-based Fibonacci extension. So in a bearish case scenario, and even in a bullish case scenario, you're going to want to come between the 1-to-1 and the 1.236. Well, that is right where your area of support is here. So this, to me, I still think we have a little bit lower, because if we're just doing an A, B, C correction, then generally you want to come to the 1-to-1 dot to the 1.236. And with that liquidity grab into a golden pocket being right in that zone, the box we already had on the chart is the box I'm still interested in. Until then, no, nothing there. Now, in a bearish case scenario, you're going to see a wave 3 impulse to the downside. You're going to be coming all the way down potentially to like that 16.2 area. And at 17, we have a naked weekly point of control along with our big accumulation range point of control down here. 786 is close by. So generally this general area would be the next general area I'm interested in. Let's go on to the weekly. Yeah, nothing there. We have a weekly down here. Actually, I could just do that and make that a weekly. Yeah, okay, so you have a fresh monthly level at that 1.618. That's going to be very important. So now that we've marked that out, let's go back onto the 4-hour time frame. So check this out. You have your monthly level, you have your 786, and you have your 1.618. That is going to be your general area. Now, naked weekly point of control at the point of control. So main areas, this guy here. This I would look at because naked weekly point of controls are powerful and your previous range point of control is there. But then the next major area is this. It does look like Dogecoin money flow is now leaving the asset again. No bull divs on the chart. Daily time frame. Actually, we didn't confirm bear divs, at least not here. So that's somewhat good. But money flows topped out, draining out, crossing into the red here. No bull divs on NAMI or Market Cipher B. 2-hour chart, no bull divs here. Money flow coming out. Hidden bear div just printed on the lower high earlier today. Okay, I think we have absolutely a high probability of dropping down to SFP these lows at 18,841. Yeah, I mean, honestly, we're grinding down. That's what I'm looking at here for Dogecoin. I wouldn't, yes, we are seeing some lower time frame, just like a lot of these coins. 15-minute bull divs here look pretty good. Money flow coming up. But for me, I'm not interested unless we get down to a level of support. I'm not going to long the middle of nowhere. Sure, there's probably some sort of level there. I know there's probably an order block there. There's probably, you know, these lower highs, liquidity grab, something like that. Because we haven't even quite touched that value area high yet, where it's just a little bit lower. Yeah, there's a 4-hour order block right here, but I wouldn't be. I'm looking down here now. If you bounce from this area, remember that golden pocket around this higher, lower high at 24.85. I would definitely take profit there for a little bit. Let me check the chat here, guys. I am gonna go, but next time maybe I'll stream on Sunday. I don't know for sure, guys. I have a busy weekend. You know, that's family time for me. So please look at Bitcoin again before. So Bitcoin, yeah, we are seeing a little bit of a bounce here. All right, previous lows are kind of acting as resistance. You can see these previous lows are kind of acting as resistance. I would want to see a little bit of a retrace and a money flow starting to curve over and come out. Money flow coming out here on the 30-minute. Let's do the 15-minute here. 15-minute hidden bear div just printed on NAMI. So right now, hidden bear div printed on trying to reclaim your previous lows. What I would be waiting for is, personally, because we are seeing some 15-minute bull divs, I would pull this golden pocket very, very locally from the lows to the highs. And right here, it's at the bottom of the channel. So that is my area where I would be interested in taking along. Here, stop loss below the 0.65. But be aware, because our larger time frames, and look at money flows even trying to curve out again on the 15-minute. Let's go to the 6-minute here. Yeah, money flows curving out on the 6-minute. Honestly, guys, this just does not look good for Bitcoin, for all the altcoins. It looks like we are going to dump. I hate to say it, and yeah, I'm doom and gloom in the title for a reason. I just wanted to check Say to see how Say was doing, because I'm interested in a potential long there. But And ICP as well. All right. Looks like ICP. I super chat you, Hbar. Yep, I got that, Johnny. I'm sorry about missing that super chat. I hope you're still here on the stream. No, Johnny, I got it for you, dude. I got it, and I'm sorry that I skipped it. And anytime, guys, anytime you super chat me and I miss it, please remind me until I see it. Just type in the chat and remind me until I see it, because I don't ever want to miss a super chat. Yes, please like the stream, guys. If you got anything out of the stream at all, please like the stream. I do stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sometimes on the weekends. I do on the days that I don't stream, I do a YouTube video. So I hope to see you guys there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Just curious your thoughts on starting to play out. Yeah, okay. All right, thank you, Divine Hood. Tau, Ave, ENA for the next one. Yeah, Grotto, we'll cover Tau for the next one. I think we covered Ave on this one. We'll look at ENA. Yep, thank you guys so much. You guys have a good weekend. Trade safe out there. Wait for confirmations. Do not have the psychology of always needing to be in a trade. Over traders can get wrecked, so be patient. Learning psychology is part of the game. Have a good weekend.